It's the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
And I'm Ron Bennington. We are, in fact, the only father-daughter team in the history of radio. And 3 years ago today, we did our kind of first run-through show as we filled in for Opie over on what used to be Opie Radio. Can you believe that's 3 years?
I can't. That's so weird to me. In some ways, it feels like it just happened. In other ways, it kind of feels like we've always been here.
Yeah, it's been odd. It's been very, very odd. Everybody was freaked out. Remember, Trend It and all that. We did that because I was always so private.
Yeah.
And yet, in 3 years, I've probably opened up zero.
Well, I guess the difference is, you're not any different on the air than you are in person. You know what I mean? Like, sad. To know you personally.
That's very lazy when you really think about it.
Like when I was a kid and people would be like, is it weird to hear Dad be funny on the radio? I'm like, no, he's being exactly the same.
We, at breakfast, do topics. So
it's true.
I'll open up the phone lines if anybody, if any of you kids have an idea. But 3 years, very, 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 very quickly.
It did go by.
Very quickly.
Very quick.
Excuse me. This is always interesting because, Vito doesn't let me know anything. But walked in and there's a town hall going on in the lobby with Robert Plant.
So crazy. That
We're
was
getting the let out.
That is so nuts.
Yeah.
Mr. Robert Plant, Mr. Jimmy Page.
Back to Almost Famous.
Yeah.
By the way, he looks great.
He does.
He looks like Lord of the Rings to me.
He really does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected him to look so young.
Yeah, because that band is almost 50 years old. It's 1969. 1969 when they did their first album, and you see the guy here, and he's still rocking. I mean, we're talking about 3 years. We got another 47 years
a while
before
ago.
it was Zeppelin. But that's always bizarre at Sirius XM. You just never know.
Yeah, and then you see something like that, and then you go about your day. Like, then you forget to mention it to someone. Like, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. And there's, like, Led Zeppelin was that band of my youth that people just were... I guess you would probably say that Zeppelin was kind of the Beatles of the 70s. Not the same impact, of course, but that same ferociousness.
But I think it's cool that they just keep making Led Zeppelin fans. Like, there continues to still be the kids in high school.
Ninth graders.
Who are like...
Ninth grade boys.
Don't know if you know this, but Led Zeppelin is the best ever.
What the fuck are you guys doing? What are you doing?
Like, does every teenage boy...
Led Zeppelin and the Doors.
Yeah.
Led Zeppelin and the Doors. I don't know how much of it has to do with, Morrison dying young or the fact that there's dark poetry involved. But those two bands, most young boys will embrace at some point. I mean, always the biggest problem with Led Zeppelin were their fans that were just, Later it happened with Metallica. Like, there's no other band but one. Just fucking relax, man.
I probably became more like listening to them. I was always aware of them, but I probably started listening to albums not until high school. But the Doors was like a very early phase for me. Yeah. Like, I went through that very young. And not only did I go into like wanting to listen to all their albums, but I also wanted to read all of Jim Morrison's poetry.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, obviously at that age, it was like the first time you get into poetry anyway. So I was like, I think he's pretty good. I don't know why everyone acts like he's not.
Well, nobody
good stuff.
Yeah. What he wanted to do, and so did Manzarek, was be a film director.
Yeah.
But no one wants the rock stars to do other stuff.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's always like, what's fuck Sting doing in that? You know what I mean? Like, you can't blame.
Yeah.
It's pretty good to be a rock star and to go adding stuff to it. Just kind of...
I remember Jewel came out with like a book of poetry and people were like, who does she think she is? I'm like, that's not that different.
Right. She writes lyrics.
Yeah. She just didn't put music to this, so now it's pompous.
That's the fucking funny thing. You can't sing these lyrics. I don't know who's had the best crossover or if anybody's had a really deep. I mean, you can't compare the crossovers there. Like Frank Sinatra became an Oscar-winning actor, even though, he didn't play much more than Frank. But I think people were easier on that generation for doing other things than they were, the post-rock generation. I mean, Elvis was kind of the Adam Sandler of the 60s, where he was making 3 movies a year for 10 years.
And were those ever thought to be good, or they were just like fun teeny bopper movies or something?
Yeah, I mean, they were kind of mom movies, I guess, at the time, because the moms weren't reacting to the Beatles and Stones and stuff.
Right.
But he was easily the biggest box office movie star of the 60s.
Yeah.
Because he did, all those movies. Every movie had a soundtrack. So not only is he doing 3 movies a year, he's doing 3 bad albums a year. And they all made cake.
Yeah.
Elvis just sat around the 60s eating cake in Hawaii. But he also was like Sandler, where he was like, my buddies have to be in the movie, and it has to be a nice place for us to go. That's why he's constantly in Hawaii.
Exactly.
And Sandler does that now. Sandler's like, yeah, let's shoot this in Hawaii. There's no reason. There's no storyline.
He's like, 50 First Dates is a story about a Hawaiian girl. Why? Just because it is.
But a white Hawaiian girl. I'm not actually going to be dating a Hawaiian in this movie. For some reason, she's blonde anyway.
And they're like, well, maybe we could do this in Chicago. No, it has to. It's very important. There's a scene with Spam. It won't be funny in Chicago.
I'm trying to think, did anyone ever become like a serious actor / movie star? I mean, a lot of actors do character actor work,
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, a lot of rock stars. But there's very few that could really carry a few movies. Aaron in Idaho. Aaron, what's up?
Ice Cube's made a pretty good crossover.
Yeah, Ice Cube. As a matter of fact, most of the rap stars find it easy to move over into acting, much more than the rock and roll stars. Cube is he's a legitimate draw.
And I would make the assumption too, it seems like their fans want them to do that. You know what I mean? Like sometimes with rock fans, they could be a little bit selloutica about everything.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like fans of rappers are like, yeah, we want you to make as much money as possible. So please be in movies. And
Queen Latifah is another one that's, had a pretty good career. Ice-T, more of a TV star.
/ detective.
Yeah, he's always kind of a rogue cop. I don't know.
Common, he's doing, I feel like, more acting than music even now.
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, the rap stars aren't really musicians. You know what I mean? They're kind of just, when you really think about it, in a lot of ways, rap is somewhat of a closer to theater.
I have one that is a non-rap one that I thought of that maybe enough respect as a actor. Cher, I feel, made that transition and maybe even more loved for some of her roles than even some of her music by people.
Well, her music was not all that serious even when it came out.
Yeah.
And then she was a variety show star. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so she was doing kind of sketch stuff. Steve in New York.
Hey guys, always in supporting roles rather than lead roles, but Dwight Yoakam kills it in almost every movie that he's in.
Yeah, he's always a prick, and he's always really good at it. Like he's, he has that. He knows how to find the inner asshole, no doubt about it. And that reminded me of like Kenny Rogers and I think Willie Nelson. Both have done movies based on their songs. So, like, The Gambler was a TV movie. Like, I remember, like, when I heard The Gambler, like, this really needs to, stretch out a little bit. Here's brother Rob. Rob, what's up?
Hey, how about Barbra Streisand?
Barbra Streisand, who came into the whole thing a Broadway actress first. Like, even before she was known as a singer, she was a Broadway singer. But yeah, she's had an enormous career.
Then she doesn't act anymore.
Well, a couple years ago, she did the thing. She was somebody's mother. I forget who it was. Some comedian's mother. Keith, what's up? Keith in Jersey.
It's Kevin, Ron.
Kevin in Jersey, what's up, buddy?
That's all right, my friend. Hey, Chris Christopherson, back in the day.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Chris Christopherson, great actor, one of the greatest songwriters of all time.
Yeah, I would put him on the top end. Like, I would say as good of an actor as a musician, or would you say it's like not really?
The problem is he wrote some of the best fucking songs that have ever been written. But then he's, for Convoy alone, just also based on a country song. We've got this great song, Convoy, and I think we can turn it into something perfect for everybody. JT, what's up, pal? What do you got?
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
My wife loves Jared Leto.
All right, let's be honest about Jared Leto, though. Rock star?
Yeah, I mean, didn't the band come after the acting career?
As far
Is it
as I know.
I could be wrong.
I think you're correct that.
He's since the 90s.
Yeah, but that's when his acting started as well.
I mean,
he was in Fight Club. Obviously he's more accomplished. One time when I was working at a New York station, I forget which one, I came out and there was all these girls and they had flowers. What the fuck is going on? They go, when Jared Leto gets off. But they didn't know it. But he had just recorded something in L.A. and did like a takeover.
Uh-huh.
And then they all thought that it was live.
Aww.
And they were all just standing there.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And with their flowers.
And I go, I'll give these to Mr. Leto. And they go, no, we wanted to meet him. I go, well, then your ass better get on a plane. Because you just got fucking turned out.
Yeah, I kind of think his band started after. I remember being like, 30 Seconds to Mars. What is this?
His first album for the band came out in 2002. He was on My So Called Life in 94. So this is way later.
Okay. So the band, I'm sure, see, that's what people say. Like, Johnny Depp was in bands before he was an actor, but what was he known for?
Right.
We're talking about fucking rock stars.
Established musicians.
Yeah.
And turned into good actors.
Mason in Delaware. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Ronnie. I was going to say Joe Pesci was actually a child singer. I think he had a hilarious album called Little Joe Sure Can Sing.
The problem was
turned into an actor.
He wasn't a fucking child when he put that. There's a great version of him doing the Beatles' "Got to Get You Into My Life." It's so. I'm not even saying it's Vegas. It's more Reno than Vegas. You know what I mean? It's more Atlantic City. But that came out after. I mean, they reissued. They reissued after, and then he was like, if you see the play Jersey Boys, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was friends with those guys. Like, he grew up singing on corners in Jersey. This is just a little bit of Pesci. It's fucking hilarious. So great. And keep it in the background.
Yeah, never stop.
Because it's the best. Damien, what's up?
Hey, how about Lee Von Helm?
Character actor, and always did very strong character actor. But I don't think anyone ever went to a Lee Von Helm film.
Yeah. Not a Lee Von Helm joint.
Okay, here comes the hook with little Joey.
I like that you can still kind of hear his speaking voice. Like, you can hear his voice within this.
Johnny.
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, he's flirted with, I don't think he's a draw as an actor.
Yeah. But
he's been in some pretty big films. But he was a kid actor, singer, dancer. I mean, that's a triple threat we're talking about. You know, he was raised to perform. Yeah, he was raised to perform. I know, Chris, you're killing me with this fucking Joe Pesci. I'd rather walk into a room and get shot in the back of the fucking head when I thought I was going to get my button. Vito is so excited because he's invited to the fucking comedy meeting. I remember when Chris went through the same thing of being excited because he wanted to be management Chris, and I think the idea was he dresses and eats too sloppily. But I never understood.
Far too many stains.
I never understood guys that get to be on air and then want to go down the hall to be in a fucking meeting. That was always the worst thing to me.
Get me out of the meeting.
Yes, that's the whole point. Like, I can't. We're on the air at the time. Hey, Chuck, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, the number one guy, I think, would be Will Smith. He went from being a rapper to being in some of the most successful movies, like friggin' the movie End of the World, whatever.
Yeah,
it was.
the End of the World movies. You're right. Chuck.
I Am Legend. He did Men in Black.
Yes.
He played Ali. So I think Will Smith is the most successful one of them all.
Well, here's what Will Smith did. He went from being a kid rapper. I mean, he was a little kid when he broke out. He was like, he literally had the number one song in the country during his graduation night in fucking Philly before he even left Philly.
That's amazing.
He's going to a public school. His song hits number one. Then he gets the sitcom, giant hit sitcom. And then he becomes, at the time in the late 90s, early part of this, the biggest box office star in the world. And then he met Jada. Oh boy. Did that change his place? Jada, good move or a bad move for Will Smith?
Amazing move. They're a power couple.
Women, one of them is. The other one is Fish Mooney.
No, she's great.
Yeah.
And she also was like a rapper or in a group.
She was a fucking metal act.
Oh, yeah.
She was a fucking weird metal act.
She was a metal singer?
Yeah, man. She was in Ozfest. It's fucking crazy.
Whoa.
And it was just that thing of Mama going to do what Mama wants to do. And Will's making phone calls to Ozzy.
The metal band was Wicked Wisdom.
Can we hear a little bit?
Oh, that's right. I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
But this was like after she had been acting for a while. This was like her pet project.
Yeah, she didn't consider that. She said she was a full-time metal act. But you got to understand the metal. Go ahead, play a little bit. But now, you imagine you're at fucking Ozfest, right? And there's just Pantera and shit like that, and then this comes out. Didn't go over all that well. Not exactly what you would think of as her target demo.
She sees Evanescence. She's like, I can do this. Why? I don't know, but I will do it.
I think she saw Eartha Kitt back in the fucking 60s after she played. Yeah. Hey, Steven, South Carolina.
Yeah, Ron, I got the two of them. One I was thinking about while on the phone. But what is funny is that Vito had no idea who this was. Little Steven.
Vito, you say that you're an E Street Band fan and you don't know who the fuck Little Steven is?
I did not say what. I just said, he said Little Steven. I said, okay, and I put him on hold. This guy's a fucking liar. I have no idea what he's talking about.
That's not the way we talk about our listeners, dude.
I don't agree.
That's not the way we
treat
our listeners, Shockey.
I didn't say
Is that how you're going to be representing me at the big comedy meeting?
No, I just felt like that was a personal attack on me, and I didn't like it when it was
Dude, then maybe you shouldn't be on air at all. If that's the way you're going to talk to our callers, Jesus Christ, it's a fun bit.
What about Juliette Lewis?
Vito has no idea who Juliette Lewis is. He doesn't know at all.
He didn't even...
I've had her on. She rocks.
Yeah.
She's a rocker, but you can't say that she's had chart stuff. But she has a whole...
And her stuff is great.
Chris, what's going on with your guy Vito?
I don't know. That was an anger problem that needs to be taken care of.
I don't need him in the comedy meeting acting like that. Look at him now. Now he's running. Oh, now he's just running out to the comedy meeting. Jen, would you be willing to fill in for him at the comedy meeting?
Sure.
Okay, tell him the good news.
She's so pleasant.
Yeah. Vito, we're going to keep you down here for the comedy meeting. Chris is concerned. Chris, would you want to go to the comedy meeting?
I mean, I don't know if they want me there, but
Why wouldn't they want you there?
not a good
because
idea.
of the 19% Jewish.
I feel like I'm being persecuted.
No, we got plenty of Jews in comedy. This is a home for you.
Chris, what is the shirt you're wearing? It looks like you've been employed by someone else.
It's a Carhartt Henley, a black Henley T-shirt.
I thought it was like a work shirt.
It is it's pretty much a work shirt. I have to do laundry.
I don't know what to say to you. I really don't. Why now would you decide to do laundry? I've seen you wear the same shirt 4 days in a row. I'm concerned about this staff and their anger problems and screaming profanities at our listeners.
There's no need.
So what? You didn't know who Little Steven was. There's plenty of people I don't know who they are too.
Yeah,
that happens.
I know who Little Steven is.
Vito, please, until you learn to calm down. I don't want you on that mic. And I don't want you at the comedy meeting.
I like going to the comedy meeting. I will hold my outbursts within.
No. Oh, you'll hold for the subscribers. That's who you'll scream at. Subscribers. This has to be sent down the hall.
Please don't.
At the meeting. I'd like it brought up at the meeting.
I would too.
I'm going to pull this.
Please do.
I'm going to send it to everyone.
This is the first signs of being a serial killer when you have those kind of outbursts. This is the 3rd anniversary of the Bennington show getting together. And this is the way we're celebrating it, Vito. You don't know who Little Steven is, and then you scream at subscribers.
And you say the F word.
The second F word too,
yeah.
Right?
No,
that's a homosexual.
No, and
slur.
I met Little Steven. I know who Little Steven was. I met him right there. He was sitting here.
No one cares about that, Vito. No one cares if you know him or not. The point is this: you can't freak out and call subscribers the C word. You can't do it.
Yeah.
I said the F word.
Yeah, but you were thinking C word. I know it, and you know it.
I saw it.
Because you did start to go like that. And we knew what you were struggling with.
Rob in California, a state that is burning. How you doing, Rob?
Hey, sucking some smoke, but happy to be on with you guys.
I don't know whether you know this. Today, Trump referred to California as the Puerto Rico of the West.
Really?
Yeah, he goes, there's nothing but trouble there. Rob, who do you got for us?
Hey, I was thinking that Roger Daltrey, he's only dipped his toes in the water with acting, but true rock god.
Well, he is an absolute rock god. And when the movie Tommy came out, there was some talk of him becoming, a big movie star.
Yeah.
And it didn't go anywhere. Daltrey is amazing to me. I always loved his voice. The Who, he's the biggest singer in the world, but no single, no solo work has ever worked for him. And then he played like some prison movie or something where he could have his shirt off. That didn't work. It just seems like people are like, you're in The Who. That's where we want you.
That's where you belong. We don't care, pretty boy.
And I've seen him go like, oh, I'm working on a new project. And everyone just goes, with The Who, right? Definitely say it's with Roger, The Who. That's where we want you. Out here in the fields, right?
I'm not just The Who.
Yes, go fight for your meals. Because the thing about that song that always annoyed me, right, is like when you're fighting for it, you think that you're starving, right?
Yeah.
But if you're starving, you never call it a meal. You know what I mean? You don't see starving people are going, we really need a meal.
Right. Because a meal implies that it's been prepared. There's multiple ingredients.
Sitting down and enjoying it and taking your time. Oh, wine. You know what? I will have a little glass.
You hear meal, it sounds like it's been well seasoned.
Yeah.
You can't be starving for something.
There's Mick Foley walking by and giving us a wave.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
One of the greatest.
Beard's looking great.
Yeah, he looks fantastic anyway. Jim in Florida.
Hey, Ron. Lenny Kravitz, wasn't he the stylist in the Hunger Games?
Yeah, he is
on Pamela Adlon's show last year, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was my favorite role that he's ever done because he didn't play a rock god,
Yeah.
And he is. He's a rock god, and I guess you would put it in character acting right now, but it all seems like it comes easy to Mr. Lenny Kravitz.
It does. It's very effortless.
Yeah.
And he's easy on the eyes.
Well, sometimes his penis will just burst through his pants.
Yeah, and people like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's like someone you want to hire that has a penis that just explodes from leather.
Chris has an asshole like that, if that helps at all.
No, it really does it.
It hurts me.
What's going on with Vito? Is there something we can do? Can we send him to a psychiatrist?
I'm worried about his
That could
stress
help.
management.
Well, he's fatherless. And that's always bothered him.
Yeah. I do try to keep that,
Yeah.
take that into account. when
I
it
call him
comes to-
Little Boy Lost.
Aw.
Mm. His, Vito, when your dad passed away, right? Was that because of your temper? Did he end up hanging himself, or what happened there?
No, it was lung cancer.
Okay. So that couldn't have been your fault.
Maybe. I mean, if you look deep into it.
Why were you screaming at that man? Where did that come from?
Because I thought we had I called in. He said, "Little Steven."
You
I
called
said-
him?
No, he called us.
It sounded like that you called in.
I heard you say, I called him.
Are you calling the listeners?
He called in. I said, "Who you got?" He said, "Little Steven." I said,
Would
"Okay."
it help for you to be in a rubber room somewhere where you couldn't hurt yourself or others?
I will not be hurting myself. I won't hurt anybody else. It was just
subscribers. A man pays for that. To have you scream that out of him.
I should not have lost my cool like that. It won't happen with anybody
You'd have
else.
to have cool to lose it, brother. You'd have to have cool to lose it. Ralph, Pittsburgh.
Hey, Ron, what's up? I got kind of an obscure one. David Naughton.
Well, it's not
He
obscure.
was in American
obscure to me.
Werewolf in London.
And then also had a big hit Making It,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was bigger than the sitcom that the song was written for.
which was called Making It.
Yes.
Ralph, how are things in Pittsburgh right now? I understand it's a rebounding city.
Things are going great. I'm in the bridge industry, so we're booming.
Sure, you have to be. I mean, there's 3 rivers.
Yeah.
There's nothing but bridges. I want to come and see it.
Exactly.
I haven't been to Pittsburgh.
446.
I'm gonna call my travel agent, Chris, and get me 2 tickets to Pittsburgh. Okay? Do not break while you're saying it.
I will not.
That was literally one of the first jokes I ever heard in my life.
Oh, my God.
And I thought to myself, a genius.
I mean, that,
I'm surrounded by genius.
it took me by surprise.
Oh, sure.
I like the part where you said Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah. Tyler in Wisconsin.
Hey, Ronnie. My suggestion was Eddie Murphy. Party all the time. We can't forget that one.
Yeah, we're trying. We're trying to forget it and loving Eddie, but it's tough. It's time for Eddie Murphy to have a big, giant comeback film.
Yeah, I
Beverly
would
Hills Cop 4 would be the way to go. Anthony, what's up?
Yeah, I thought of 3 when I was on hold, if you want to go back to those, but my main one was a DJ turned into a comedian who turned into an actor who went to singing and back to an actor, and it is Jamie Foxx.
Well, now he's a game show host.
Yeah, he does it all.
Yeah. He is a quintuple threat. Jen, you like the Jamie Foxx?
Love the Jamie Foxx.
Is there any black people you don't like? Just give me one.
Well, right now, Kevin Hart, I guess.
Oh, you loved him. He was
Everybody
your
else
favorite.
is happy with him again.
Forgive him.
And
mean,
probably
his
Mike Tyson.
Why?
Is it the rape?
Yeah, I'm not into Mike Tyson.
I met Mike here. I think I was doing Opie's show one day when he came in, and he may be the most physical person I've ever been. Like, you're really aware of his physicality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're really aware of, like, I couldn't fight my way out of here if he snapped. But at least, unlike some of these people, he paid for his rape, right? Went
He
to jail
did.
for
He
it.
did. He did serve time. So that makes it better. And that means that he can be a movie star for some reason.
I saw a guy on TV the other night. If I was a movie producer, I'd be calling to book this. So the dude's a bank robber, right? And while he's in there, he's working in the library and starts to go through the law books and ended up for another guy putting together I don't know what you would call this when you you prepare a case, you prepare it and you send it to the courts. I don't know what it is. To the fucking Supreme Court of the United States. And they accepted the brief.
Wow.
That's what it's called. It's called a brief. Yeah. And by the time, so he gets, he's got to do 11 years for robbing fucking banks, right? He's out now. He gets his law degree. He passes the bar, and he's a law professor.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Shit. Yeah. And he sent 2 of those briefs while he was in prison that Supreme Court said, yes, there's a case here. Is that fucking crazy?
That's really nuts.
And Brian Regan could play him in the movie. He's like got that nice guy Brian Regan stuff. And they're like, what were you thinking when you robbed 5 banks? He goes, it was immaturity, really. I wasn't thinking about anything.
So immature.
And then he goes, did you ever think that this could happen, that you would end up being a law professor? And he just starts laughing. And he goes, even hearing you say it, it's hysterical to me. But he reminded me like Regan would be perfect to play him. Dan, Michigan. Dan.
Hey, Ron, what's going on, Gail?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How about Phil Collins and all his great work in Miami Vice?
Well, he did a little bit of acting and since then, but he was also a child actor.
Was he?
Yes.
What was he in when he was a kid?
England. He was in England
right.
stuff. And I think he played on stage and all that, Oliver and all that kind of shit. But he's also, if you watch Hard Day's Night, he's a little kid with his big sister in the audience screaming for the Beatles.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
And then within years, like, he was playing on like a George Harrison session or a Beatles session.
That's
which
so
is crazy,
wild.
right?
Yeah.
Like within 6 years.
That's really nuts.
Yeah. I was like watching something. It was just like a thrown together Beatles special. It was like called 8 Days a Week. It was on Hulu or something. And I'm like, I'll watch this for 5 minutes. 30 minutes later, I'm still fucking watching it. You can't fucking chuck that Beatles stuff once it starts.
I know.
Like if someone said to you, are you sick of hearing the Beatles? I would say yes. And then I turn on the Beatles channel and end up staying there.
A Beatles channel is like one of the best things that happened, especially in this building. I love anytime they have the Beatles channel on in the lobby. I'm happy.
Me too.
I'm like, oh, good day.
I don't want to make a big deal about this, but I'm the guy who put together the Beatles channel.
That was you?
It took me 8 years of behind the scenes talking.
Weird. I thought it was someone else, but I guess it was you.
It's me. Anything that you hear on Sirius XM that you like is me.
Wow. Well, you're doing a great job.
Yeah, I am. And I like to hear about it more. I don't want to have explosive producers screaming at subscribers.
You shouldn't. I mean, with all the hard work you do for us and the Beatles channel.
This is the 3rd anniversary of Bennington. No one ever brings that up.
No one does.
Chris, Jen, Vito, none of them went happy anniversary.
No, not one of them said happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Well,
where's the presents?
I don't have any presents.
What? You guys
yes, you have zero presents on the air, that's for sure. Daniel, what's up?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about Tom Petty. He did a little bit part in The Postman where he played himself.
Yeah, well, see, then you would understand that has nothing to do with it. You know what I mean? He's not an actor.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, I co-wrote some of his songs with him, and I don't think he'll ever be an actor. Did I tell you I helped rewrite Won't Back Down? Do you know what he originally wanted to call it?
What?
Boat Rack Round.
That doesn't even make sense.
I said to him.
Gibberish.
Boat? Like, what is boat anyway?
Well, I went there and I'm like, he's like this, but boat rack round, boa, boat rack round.
That's just gibberish.
I go, look, I like the melody, but let me take a run at these fucking these lyrics. And he goes, you stay out of this run. I go, I won't back down. And then I go, what? Wait, what did I just say? I won't back down. I won't back down. Well, I started writing, And the band fell into place. And the next thing I know, we're on the Billboard charts, okay? With a bullet. Now, a bullet means we're heading up.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then if they don't like it, it's a sinker. And like this song was places, and it's just sinking down into the depths of despair. There's a couple things I came up with that I don't get much credit for. I was the guy who said, if your son dies in battle, have the president give a call. Nobody did that until I brought it up to Trump.
It's weird because you would think that was something that they would have done already, but I can't believe that was you who came up with.
I came up with it.
Just giving a ring.
You know what? I shouldn't even take credit for coming up with it. It's just something that was handed to me from the gods. Okay? The people who keep the planets in the air. All right? The planets would fall without the gods. Believe me. Trust me this. This place would be snowing stars right now. Now here's it. You guys like the stars, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, love
big time.
There are more stars in the universe, in the known universe, than there are National League baseball teams.
What?
Okay?
So there's a lot then. 'Cause there's quite a few.
There is quite a few teams. Yeah, too many. I want to go I want to go retraction, not expansion. I want to get rid of the Nationals are gone. It's stupid. And any team west of the Mississippi is gone.
That's a lot.
Not as many as there are stars, though.
Right.
Now, here's what you don't understand. Every star that you see, right, has planets.
Mm-hmm.
And all those planets have lunar objects or moons. And there'll never be a square planet. Why? Physics, folks. Look it up. Physically impossible.
That sucks. I'd like to see a square planet.
Dude, take a look at your fucking head in the mirror. That's a square planet. I was with Chris the other day, and a little boy said to his mom, "Look, that cube has ears." I go, "First of all, son, it's pronounced cube." That's because that's what. And second of all, I said, "That man has mental problems."
That got me out of that one. Don't like children.
Oh, I'm glad that you would repeat that. You know, it's a new day. You can come up with any new thoughts. You can never come down to the fact that children bring up a sexual urge in you that scares you.
There's no sexual urge.
You know what would be different if you said you do like children?
That's like me saying I don't like Costa Ricans. Wouldn't that be sad for you?
Yeah.
So anyway, this is some of the things that I'm telling you in the last 3 years of the Bennington show we've been able to do. The Bennington Thanksgiving party. If you're coming to this, consider your mind blown already. We were just in a freezing cold meeting outside about it. Why? That's where smokers have to go.
Yes. Because they're treated like criminals in here. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to have freezing cold meetings.
The other lady, and this is how, this is a true thing about New York, and I was talking about this on stage the other night at the Stan. By the way, we're going to be at the Stan next Monday night with Judah Freelander, the champion of the world. You can go to the iBang to get tickets.
That's unmasked. Next Monday, go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets.
So the other day here in New York, and what I wanted to say is sometimes in New York, you just snap in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time I spend my time laughing at people who have snapped. And then every once in a while, I'm the guy who snaps and other people laugh at. So I'm sitting with a friend and we're smoking cigars on a bench. A woman, middle-aged woman, goes to my friend, not to me, just out of nowhere, points and says, "That's disgusting."
Oh my God.
I say, immediately freaked out by this. And I said, "Your tight sweater makes your fat, sloppy tits look disgusting." That's an actual statement that I made. Who knows why you freak out? Maybe this could help me understand Vito a little more. And while he has his meltdowns.
You think it was maybe passed on genetically?
But who the fuck is this woman to come up with this? By the way, the reason why people were smoking outside is because you can't smoke indoors.
Exactly.
Chris can't even smoke in his own apartment.
It's so rude. I don't know why people do it. It really bothers me.
All the TVs went out at the same time. Did you see that?
Yeah, they all flashed.
Ouch.
Why?
I don't know. Possibly a problem with Dish TV.
Oh, well, some people are writing anniversary things to us on Twitter.
Oh, that is so sweet. I'm going to RT them.
RT everybody. Even more.
Hear that, folks? You're getting RT'd.
I had no idea. People cared so much. It's beautiful.
It's really sweet.
And then Mick Foley waved to us. Jesus. What more do you want?
Nothing. That's enough. That's anniversary enough.
Fucking Dude Love is standing there at your window just waving to you.
Dude Love.
Dean.
Happy anniversary!
Thanks, Dean.
Dean. That is so sweet.
And I was going to bring up Dolly Parton for singers that were actors.
Yeah, she was in 9 to 5. And a really weird Chicago movie where she played a radio talk show host. And I can't remember who the man was, but it was a rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
And it is as bad as things can get.
What is it about radio being used in rom-coms and sitcoms? It's very common.
You would think, that being a talk show host was the most romantic job that there is. It also gets used quite a bit for those Showtime. I think it's Showtime that runs it. No, I guess it's Cinemax or Skinamax. But those softcore shows, there's always a woman host. Say, tell us about your most exciting time. And then someone calls in, they start to talk, and then it goes into, I'm like, get back to the radio. I want to see how she's doing this.
Yeah, it comes up a lot. It's for some reason a very common rom-com job, I've noticed.
I guess at one time it used to be the person was a writer, and now they're, soon they'll be just podcasting, just straight podcasting. Oh, this is going to make you feel great on our anniversary day. Probably the best person in the world that we could ever hear from, and we haven't heard in a long time.
Who is it?
She is the pride of Chicago. She puts the chicken in the car, and the car won't go. She's in the Windy City, the second city. That toddling town, the hog butcher to the world. My kind of town, Chicago is. Janet!
Boy, how time flies when you're having fun. I cannot believe it's 3 years already.
3 years. 3 years.
Yay! I marked it now for next year. I can't believe I didn't acknowledge it through gifts.
Okay. I know. I said the same thing to Chris. I thought this was going to be a star-studded day. I thought there would be gifts. I thought there would be confetti. Instead, Chris handed me one thing, a noose, and said, you know what to do with this. Do the right thing.
Don't throw it away.
You know, by this time next year, Chris will be married. And I bet, my bet is this.
You think so?
Living in Westchester. I think he's going to be commuting in from Westchester.
Wow. Now, will you be taking the Metro North, or will you purchase a car?
Take the Metro North. Hey, Chris, good news for you. They have bathrooms.
What?
Oh, yeah. And you can drink beers on there. You can buy a beer and have a little beer on your way to work every day.
Yeah, for $8, you can have a nice cup of beer.
Ooh, 16 full ounces.
One time we were going down to D.C., so we're like, let's get Chris hammered on the train. Costs us like $92. The train beer is very expensive.
Very expensive.
You know, I got a water in a movie the other day, $6. I fucking finish it and I throw the bottle at the fucking screen.
Train wine is also very expensive. Like you might as because it sounds like bum wine.
Yeah. It's made
bum
on the train.
In the toilet. It's made like prison toilet wine.
Delicious.
Yeah, they love it. They should have a girl who comes back. Train wine. Pick up your train wine.
I'll have a half bottle.
Yeah.
They sell the minis and the half bottles.
Yeah.
And the half bottles are twice the price of a full bottle
Sure.
anywhere else.
I had a delicious bottle for $6,200. The same guy who makes it also shovels the coal up front. If I had one of those jobs shoveling coal for a train like that in the old days, I'd just be like this first stop. I quit.
Fuck this.
I can't. It's shoveling too much stuff. I like to not shovel at work. All right, Janice, thanks for calling us. It's something Chris refused to do.
And it's just so great. 3 years. I just
3
say love
years.
you all.
Love you too.
Love
honey.
you, Janice.
Bye, baby.
Love the birdie.
Aw, that's so sweet.
I saw Birdie this morning.
You did.
Birdie did not jump into my arms this time.
Well, she had just puked in the car, so that's
Okay.
why.
I don't-
Sometimes it takes her a little.
I thought she smelled a little. I was going to say rank. What's the decision on Vito? He's 5 minutes away from going to his thing. Vito, come in here before you leave.
Here he comes.
Hope he doesn't have a freak out in the hall.
Too fast.
Why is it that you want to go to these meetings?
I don't know. I like having a representative of the show at the meetings who doesn't yell. I won't yell. That's my point.
No one even brought that up.
It's weird that you would say
If you go there today, because of the way you've been acting, listen, don't talk.
Okay.
And if they ask you any questions, say, I'm too hot-headed to be able to deal with you right now.
I don't think that's a good
all my years working in radio, I've never heard anybody talk to a subscriber like that.
It was too much. I just took it personally. I just took that really personally.
Why did you take it so personally?
Because that didn't happen. That I spoke on the phone to this person.
You didn't know, it did happen. We heard it from a subscriber, okay? In my business, the subscriber is never wrong because they subscribe to us.
Well, this one misinformed you guys. He wasn't lying, maybe. Maybe he misunderstood the situation and misinformed everybody.
You didn't know who Little Steven was. That happens. It's not a big deal.
Little Steven is.
You don't know shit about him. It's fine.
Why would he make up that you didn't know?
I don't know. It seems like some witch hunt.
I know, but Vito, if you
That
start
makes you
to
a
think
witch.
about it, does that make sense that someone would lie that you didn't know?
No, it doesn't make sense.
Nobody
It makes
would say
no
that.
sense. That's why he should be even
Makes
less.
no sense.
Less what?
He makes even less sense because he's making up outrageous misbeliefs like this. I don't want to call him a liar.
I don't know if that's it's beliefs.
You can't make up a misbelief. You can only believe a misbelief.
I don't want you guys to be misled by somebody.
Stop saying miss before every single word. It's driving me nuts.
Don't call him.
You're not wearing that
No.
schmata, are you?
Please don't wear the schmata.
Oh boy.
Now your hair is all grizzly.
Yeah, you can't.
Do you have a comb?
You can't go up there.
Okay, that's a little weird.
Your hair looks like a monkey's ass right now.
Come on, dude. Get it together, man.
So matted.
Oh no! Look at it now.
Dude, when
no,
you
gotta
shave
side-
your head,
side
we're going
part
to
it.
see what an oval that is.
There we go.
That's a giant oval.
There we go.
You look like a psycho, dude.
You do look really scary.
You just pull the hair back.
Why would anyone be dying to go to a meeting that they would take off their signature headband?
Their signature schmata.
I think the point is that the headband looks better than this. I think we all learned that from
Yeah,
this.
but it's not professional either.
What if you went in there and someone said, "What's a motto? You need your schmata."
I would say, got it right here.
Put it on backwards, though, so the thick part's in the back, the thin part's up front. Like I make you do with your underwear.
Look at Thank you,
Dude, that's so much better.
Oh my God, that's so cute.
Yeah, you
It's
look
very
like you should be
feminine.
selling pancake mix.
I feel like a fortune teller.
Yeah. Well, here's your fortune. This fucking meeting's going to be a nightmare. How long is it going to last this time?
I don't know, probably like 15, because they're not going to break for pizza this time, so 15, 20 minutes.
What the fuck? You broke the pizza?
That's bullshit.
It was pizza.
All the stars are waving to us today.
That's so
It was
sweet.
pizza day last
Well,
time.
dude,
so
you're just saying we're talking about a star.
I'm sorry.
No one gives a
Candy.
fuck that somebody had Domino's. That's boring. We just had a major star wave to us.
Who was it?
Exactly. You don't know.
You didn't
Because you're
turn.
too busy
Talking about
fucking
the
rushing that mouth instead of keeping bug-eyed for everybody who's coming. I want that head of yours on a swivel. How come you didn't tell me Robert Plant was going to be here today?
I wasn't aware of it.
That's part of your job description, right?
Yes. That doesn't look really good for me.
Listen, Chris, when you get back from the comedy meeting, give him all your notes.
I will,
and have him type it up on a typewriter. You're not to use the computer so I can find out you're not sending out abusive messages to anybody.
Where am I going to find
Analog.
the typewriter?
Only analog communication for you from now on.
And Chris, I actually want him to set type like Ben Franklin, where you had to put the type in upside down and backwards.
Done and done.
I don't have a typewriter. This is
No, a punishment
We're
is a
going to give
punishment.
it to you. You don't have to use your own.
Oh,
It's all part of what we supply here.
that seems more fair.
You might even, we'll give you a sharp knife and dig it into a tree, and then I'll read it later.
That doesn't seem very effective.
I don't know why you try to be obvious, man, all the time.
I honestly think the head situation is where someone started.
I already forgot I switched it around.
It's better. Makes your head look smaller.
I need.
You look on the ball right now. Right? You know what I mean? You look like a young man who's got a whole career ahead of him in management. Here's how we can make some fat cash for ourselves. Larry Flint is offering $10 million for any info that leads to the impeachment of Donald Trump.
This is for any. This is open to the general public.
Open to the general public.
Do you only get that money if it does in fact sink him?
Yeah, you've
Okay.
got to lead to the impeachment. So
Right.
you're not going to be paid until,
Right.
another 8 months.
This stops people from just making up just shenanigans.
What happened to the piss tape from Russia? Remember that there was supposed to be fucking
I know
chicks
it's out
pissing
there, and
on
I
them?
just want to see it.
I think the odd thing is like if you saw the girls peeing on them, and then one dude, Russian dude, just comes in.
This took a turn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now you know. I think this is good for Trump because if no one comes up, it didn't happen. Because anybody would do it for $10 million. Fucking Eric Trump would turn in his dad for
I think
$10
he
million.
would.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Flint still has $10 million on hand.
Why?
Because it's just the porn industry becoming more streaming porn as opposed to
Yes,
just.
guess who streams it?
Yeah,
Hustler has a TV channel.
Oh, I didn't
Not
know
only that, but Flint has distributed just about every magazine in the country for the last 30 years or something. Like, he got into the distribution business. He's far out beyond Hustler and has been for decades.
Yeah, and didn't he? Yeah, he like moved with the times too. Like
Yeah.
he was.
He's like Monopoly Man. If somebody was going to play him in the movie, they'd be Monopoly Man. You have to say this. Now remember, Monopoly Man, don't move your legs. That time that he got shot, no one's ever caught the person who shot him. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. It's a friend of my cousin's. I don't know.
Oh,
Jesus.
Yeah,
that's solved.
yeah. Well, I ain't going to say nothing. I'm no rat.
Could be any of his friends. I didn't say who.
Yeah, could be any cousin. So we got a lot of cousins. If they call me in the court, I go like this. I don't see any cheese here, so I must not be a rat. No further questions.
You don't get to decide that, sir.
No further questions.
You just take the stand and say no further questions.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I implore you.
They're always being so implored.
Yeah. On this night of all nights, witching hour takes place. This sounds fancy, does it not? Then perhaps you should lean your vote my way.
I like what this guy's saying.
What am I just going, ladies and gentlemen, the Jerry. Oh, I am sorry, that's Jory. You're anything like me, you'd like to break for lunch now, from what I understand from Vito. There's some pizza. Free pizza available to each of us. If anybody would like a soft drink or a cola mixer, this is the place to do it. Maurice took my soft candy and a quarter. I'll never forget. That as long as I live. Have we heard how our buddy Artie's doing? I understand he was hospitalized.
I have not heard any updates.
Where are you going? Dude, you really shouldn't go with that temper. I'm being totally serious now.
I'm not going to.
That was one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to the show in the last 3 years.
I can't believe I did that to everybody.
Don't give out any smaller than life.
You've never seen me do that before.
Yes, I have seen you. You talked to Chris that way, now it's spread to the listeners.
Yeah, he tried to beat me down in the street.
Look, these listeners ain't me.
Just calm down, dude.
Beat me
Do you
down.
see why I tried to beat him down in the street, though? That's very antagonizing.
We're all using that phrase. You see why I wanted to beat him down in the street, don't you?
Your Honor, my client is accused of beating in the street. Have we all not beat in the streets? All right, off you go. But no smaller than life names.
No.
Make everything good and don't yell at anyone and fix your hair.
Sit next to Don.
Okay.
So he can say, shut up, Vito, if he needs to.
If someone sit next to him, tell him to move.
Up. Ron said I had to sit next to Don.
Get up!
He's just grabbing Paul by
kill you!
He's grabbing Paul by the arm. Get up!
My boss will beat in the street! What a fucking loony bin.
Yeah. He's worked up today.
He's a fatherless child. That's his problem.
I know. That's why
have a man steering him.
We've got to be patient with him because of that. Because he didn't learn all the man lessons you guys did.
Yeah.
Just a little patience with Vito. When I heard him screaming at that fucking caller, I couldn't believe it.
It was 0 to 60 too. I mean, think about this. We hadn't heard him on the air yet today. That's the first time we heard his voice.
He's so amped because he gets to go to a meeting.
I did not fucking say that. I didn't.
Fuck you, motherfucker! I'll kill your whole fucking family! Helter Skelter on you! Helter Skelter on your house! Like, easy! Listen here, Kate LaBianca. I'm fucking coming out while you're sleeping, and I'll cut up your whole fucking family! What is wrong with him? What are you doing, dude?
Playing Helter Skelter.
We all know how Helter Skelter. We have a Beatles channel.
All right. True.
This is raw diggity, man. You should be playing stand-up on here.
Fucked up.
That boy's fucking stone crazy. And he is putting his dick into nothing. He's putting his dick in the air all night. That's his problem.
That's probably why it's so tense.
He's got a backed up nut.
I mean, I can't believe he called the listener Tate LaBianca.
Yeah. Named after the Tate LaBianca murders of 1969. The sweltering summer of Helter Skelter.
He's got to get on Tinder.
All right, dude. Not back to the fucking Tinder thing.
I'm saying maybe I should just start talking to women for him and send him in my place.
I don't think they would notice if you just put your picture up.
Probably not.
I don't think your old chick would notice if he went in there and fucking banged her out.
She would.
I doubt it. I doubt it would make any difference.
She'd say, it seems like your dick's bigger.
He is much hairier than I
Dude,
am.
let's face it. She's with you for one reason, the settlement.
I can't talk about that.
It's going great, though, right?
Can't talk about any of that. All I can say is there was a settlement. Agreement was reached.
I know one thing. If I made a settlement, I'd send a check the next day. That's my way.
That's the appropriate thing to do.
And I'd write my name with a big feathered pen that I dipped in ink. Yeah, perhaps this. And I'll seal it with wax. On your way, boy. Take that to the Stanley residence. Give them the biggest goose in town. Here's a shilling and a bob for your problems. Please take my carriage. A lot of times, if I had a carriage like that, I'd go, you know what? I'm going to ride up top. I'll hold the little thing that's attached to the horses.
It's my carriage. I can do it if I'd like.
Yeah. I'll be the guy who yells out, "Whoa, boy," if I feel like we're going too fast.
You're just sitting in the back. What's the point of even having a carriage if I can't walk?
Bouncing around back there.
It's luxurious. I can't wait until we invent cars.
Can't there be something besides horses that pushes us? Perhaps an engine. But there's nowhere to get gasoline, is there? That's the problem. There'll never be a gas station, if you will. And there's no fast food. All our food takes way too long. I had to wait for a boiled goose last night. Took 12 hours. That's sumptuous. Truly sumptuous. Chris, why don't you plug Judah Friedlander instead of just fucking sitting there?
Judah Friedlander Unmasked. That's happening next Monday, October 23rd, 8 p.m. at the Stand in New York City. You go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets. And Judah's new special, Judah Friedlander, America is the Greatest Country in the United States, comes out Tuesday, October 31st on Netflix.
That doesn't make sense. By the way, I listened to the Gail Meets Girls last night. Adored it.
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, it's available now. It's Phoebe Robinson and Maeve Higgins. You can check it out at the Interrobang.
I love a girl with an Irish accent.
I know. I knew that you would fall in love with Maeve because of that. She has the cutest accent.
Yeah, she does. She does. My two favorite accent, Maeve, and then just Janice's fucking white trash Chicago accent.
Perfect.
It is sassy. Why don't we break here? By the way, Stavi Baby's coming in today, right?
Yes.
Nice.
What's this for, Chris?
It's a live read. Dish.
That's very formal of you. How does this start, Gail?
Hey, college football fans. Look, you've probably got some crazy rituals. Maybe you cook your famous ribs at every tailgate, or maybe you're more of a never wash my socks kind of guy. Maybe it's worked so far, but imagine taking your ritual to the next level with Dish. Upgrade from listening to pregame broadcasts on your car's AM radio to watching them on HD TV with Dish.
Just imagine how well your offense could play once you make pregame highlights and interviews on an HD TV, your new tailgate ritual. Visit dishtailgate.com and get Dish and the Playmaker antenna today. The Playmaker sets up in just minutes in the parking lot, and it doesn't need a Wi-Fi connection.
And best of all, with Dish pay-as-you-go programming, you only pay for the months you use. And in case you're wondering, no, you don't need Dish service at your home to enjoy TV at your tailgate. Make HD TV from Dish a new tailgate ritual. Visit dishtailgate.com today and get free shipping for a limited time. Restrictions apply.
Bennington Show. Time to give out a prize for the first responders.
I have the winner. Hand it to me right here. The winner of the First Responders Contest, winning the signed Dana Gould poster, is Harry McAfee at Dr. Zodiac. There's no better kind of stories than showbiz stories, and Dana Gould told the best ones on Unmasked Show with Ron Bennington.
Very cool poster you'll get.
Very cool.
That was put together by the King of the Meltdowns, our own Vito.
Yes.
He's deep in a meeting, and I went up to check on him, and all I heard was screaming and and glass breaking, so I just ran down the hall to get out of there. I was yelling active shooter. By the way, I'm at the stand the other night, and Big J says, "Oh man, I got a TV show that you would love. It's called Active Shooter." And it's about every active shooter that we've had in this. So I go, "Oh my God, no." And then I see this pain on his face. Like, Ron turned on me. But no, I can't watch a show called Active Shooter. It's on one of the cables.
I don't want to see that.
Well, don't tell Jay. I feel bad.
Okay, I'll see it. I'll watch it then, Jay.
Tony in Chicago.
Hello.
Yeah.
Got a spy report.
Spy report.
John Dunsworth of the Trailer Park Boys, the gentleman who played Mr. Leahy, passed away today.
It's so sad.
I know.
Chris, you've put up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you this, Tony. Chris loves the Trailer Park Boys so much. He has said to me for how many years now?
Oh, good. Probably 7 years.
For 7 years, he goes, please watch the Trailer Park Boys. You know who we should have on the show? Trailer Park Boys. And I have never watched one single episode. I've just never done it. I don't know where to... I don't like to watch things on a computer. I like to watch things in life.
It's available on Netflix now because they
Too
moved
much. Too late.
It's 11 seasons. It's up to 11 seasons now. Yeah.
So I don't know whether you know this, Gail. Show how much. Now, this is a R.I.P. Mr. What?
Mr. Leahy.
Of Trailer Park Boys. That's his title. Now keep going down just so you can see how much Chris has wrote about that person. And then you put together your favorite clips.
Yeah, just the clips of since it's 11 seasons, there's just so much Mr. Leahy to go around.
Will they go on without him or no?
I don't see how the show exists without Mr. Leahy.
Is he a main character?
He was it was the Trailer Park Boys, Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles, and then there was Mr. Leahy.
He loves this show. He loves it.
Who was their foil. He was always trying to bust them for all their low rent schemes. And he was just a giant part of the show and the best part of the show many times. I don't see how the show goes on without Mr. Leahy.
Oh my God. So this is a big loss for you, Chris.
It is. I was really, really sad when I found out the news last night because he was a fantastic actor at acting being drunk.
Now, Chris didn't care this much when his own parents died. And look how much he's written about Mr. Leahy.
They didn't have anything on YouTube. But it's a very sad day.
So how would you... Now, Mr. Leahy is the character or the person?
John Dunsworth's the actor. Mr. Leahy's the character.
So don't you think you should put the name John Dunsworth somewhere in your title, not just Mr. Leahy?
I could have put a comma, John Dunsworth.
All right. I saw the thing. I'm looking at this. At the bottom, you have, this is the best scene.
It's and amongst Trailer Park Boy fans, this is...
Okay.
All right, so why don't we do this? We'll play this scene, so perhaps we can catch on to how much you love this guy.
Would you like context?
No.
Okay.
No, I'll take context. That makes sense.
All right, so he throughout the entire series, he's constantly trying to get these guys arrested and thrown out of the trailer park. He gets them arrested, and they always get out. And now he's up to his wit's end with dealing with Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles, and he's also hammered drunk.
Is one of them Joanne? I can't understand what you're saying.
Ricky, Julian, and Bubbles.
Okay, sounds like Joanne.
Oh, he's also on the show, bisexual. This is like his boyfriend / assistant trailer park supervisor.
The context has added nothing. I'll just tell you that.
Okay,
right.
So this is him talking about what
nice
he
and
wants to
loud.
do.
Take the bus. Listen, Mr. Lee, they could kill one another. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, but we can't be involved with murder. Exactly, Randy. Mr. Lee, is this you talking or the liquor? Randy. I am the liquor.
And that's his best scene.
That is, I think, and amongst Trailer Park Boy fans, they would agree with me.
Yes, the context does us no good.
Yeah, but I think Mr. Leahy speaks for himself. I mean, that was clearly a great moment.
And he also drinks like you, straight from the bottle.
Yeah. With like,
slurring scary things.
Where your mouth seems to do more work to meet the bottle.
Yeah, you push your lips out.
I'll get to that bottle.
That's really good. I've seen that and probably done that in my life. Puckering up. Why is that? I've never once thought of that. And when I've seen other people do it, I'm like, we'll probably get to the end of this night. But it didn't occur to me why. I felt like I was picking it up subconsciously, but it's because you're puckering your lips into the bottle.
I'll just get my lips right to that bottle.
Scott, what's up?
I gotta stand by Pepper. This is probably one of the best shows, underrated too, ever. And
Not
Jim
in
Leahy,
Canada, though, right? It's beloved. in Canada.
Beloved. Yeah.
But Jim Leahy just made that show. Almost every one of the episodes' titles were a quote from something he said, and he was a classically trained theater actor, and that's why he just did such a fantastic job of it. I love that show, man. It's great. Ron, you would love it.
Yeah, you hear that from Chris. I wasn't going to watch things on a computer. I just can't.
Just watch the first 6 seasons. I mean, you don't have to watch the next 5. Just watch like the first give it 3 seasons.
You're telling me to fucking put seasons of my life out there. Someone said to me, give me 3 seasons of your life and commit to something. I mean, Chris, if I could do that, I'd be speaking French right now. I was just going to go to that call that said James Woods. He's okay, right?
Well, let me check with
Yeah.
I'm going to Google James Woods. I'm worried.
Who's working the phones today?
It's Amani.
Amani, grab Amani and bring her up to the phone. Now, did James Woods try to call us, or some James Woods news?
It's James Woods news, but
What?
she just didn't give me her name and like her state yet. She didn't give me her name or state yet, so I just typed in what she was saying.
And then she hung up, though. But what do you think it was?
She just wanted to tell you the movie was Straight Talk.
First of all, I don't remember bringing that up, but I love that.
With Dolly Parton and.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
We're going back.
By the way, my favorite James Woods movie of all time, and ladies, I don't recommend this for you.
Okay.
It's called Fast Walking. And it's fucking crazy. It's like an independent film from the early 80s, late 70s.
You don't recommend it because it's like very actiony and dude oriented, or?
Yeah, I think it's more of a dude film.
Yeah.
It's a prison film, but like Texas border town stuff. Have you seen it, Chris?
I've not seen it, but I'm going to have to watch it. I love James Woods.
The actress Kay Lenz, who was an early 80s like knockout, like a tough girl knockout, once married to Keith Partridge of the Partridge Family, lead singer and songwriter of the Partridge Family. Just put up Kay Lenz or young Kay Lenz. You just got pictures of sunglasses.
It's just lenses. K lenses.
You're a nut.
He wrote.
You're a nut. It was with a Z. It's not eyeglasses.
I didn't.
Let's just get a good picture over here, Chris, instead of a bad picture.
Oh, look at there with the. I like where her curls are in the black and white with the curls. I like that picture.
Yeah,
she's a beauty. Yeah, she's a beauty.
Crazy. You're gonna love her in this film, Fast Walking, starring James Woods. I'm a big James Woods fan, particularly late 70s to, let's say, El Salvador. I thought he did his best work.
You always bring up James Woods as like your favorite actor, right?
Yeah, I love James Woods so much.
What's your favorite movie?
I mean, when his character in Casino is pretty amazing.
That's 10 years after what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And he has 2 scenes in that. Him and Jared Leto, you just like 2 scenes. He starred in movies. All right? He starred in them.
Love him in Diggstown.
Diggstown is also further along when he's doing more comedy work. I'm talking straight, crazy fucking drama. I'm talking Fast Walking.
I have to watch Fast Walking.
No, you don't, Chris. You're too busy watching Trailer Park.
I've seen all this.
Around the fucking clock.
11 seasons worth.
I'll call him for something. He's like, sorry, I'm in the middle of Trailer Park Boys. I go, you're going to call me back in an hour? And he goes like this, Ron, I'm in the middle of a season of Trailer Park Boys. I'll call you in a couple days.
It just sucks you in.
I'm going to check your James Woodsness. Now, by the way, he says he's done acting. He shall make no more films. He says it's because he's Republican, but it's also, he's an older guy now. All right, I'm going to give you some of these films. You tell me whether you saw them or not, all right? First of all, I'm just not even realizing this. He was in a Welcome Back, Kotter. I demand to see that. I demand it. Choir Boys. Have you seen it?
I've not seen Choir Boys.
Mm-mm.
The Onion Field.
No.
Eyewitness.
No.
Fast Walking.
No, obviously.
Videodrome.
Yes.
Okay, so you've seen one of what I'm talking about of all those films.
I got to watch the rest of these.
And have you seen Salvador?
Yes, I've seen Salvador.
Unbelievable movie. Unbelievable. It did get Jim Belushi'd, but that's no fault of the great James Woods. But now all he seems to do, he's got the Anthony Cumia gene where he just goes online and fights with the people that he disagrees with. But he's a fantastic actor. Just fucking killer. Scary fucking actor. Onion Fields you'll be fucking crazy about.
Did you ever see The Boost?
Yes.
That was a weird one, but he was great in it.
Again, I want you to just see some of the younger stuff that he did when he was like in his early 30s. He was fucking phenomenal. Eyewitness. He's so greasy and fucked up in it, man. He's just so
awesome.
great. He's always like promising some guy he won't do something and then he does it anyway. A little nervous. Vito's still not back yet.
No.
Still
I hope
not
he's not
back
screaming
here.
up there.
Colin Kaepernick is suing the NFL, saying they're the ones who pushed him down to his knee. No, he's saying that they have colluded to keep him out of the game.
And he said the breaking point for him when he decided to do it was because Brandon Weeden got picked up as the backup quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. So when he saw that, he was like, well, this is fucking ridiculous.
So, why was that the indicator? Because
he's so much better, and if you want a backup quarterback, you know, if he wasn't involved in this shit, he'd still be in the game. There's just there's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Now, to prove collusion, rather than 31 other people went, I could deal without this hassle, you know? That's going to be his point to prove, but he belongs in the league. Everybody would know that. As a backup, the way these guys go out.
I saw somewhere that he might try to go with the Packers because fucking Rodgers is out.
Yes, of course he's going to go anywhere with an injured. Why does he think that's adding stuff? And it's not up to him to whether he goes. He'd go with anybody.
I thought he was just blocked out. I thought that's the whole point.
Yeah, that's his theory as to why.
But then how does he get to choose if he's going to be with the Packers?
Chris just screams something
I'm a girl
crazy.
and I don't understand this stuff, but you're making it more confusing.
Now this weather is so fantastic right now. I mean, we just finally got to fall.
Yeah.
And we did it one day. I think this time of year I want to work on my novel. That's all I want to be, a novelist.
And fall weather, perfect.
Yeah.
Sitting by the lake, the leaves changing. It's very romantic.
I'm going to have to take a semester off from lecturing at Columbia so I can go upstate, finish my novel. I wake noon every day. Giant breakfast. 2 hours of bourbon and writing. After that, I walk into town where I'm greeted warmly.
It's a warm greeting.
Yes.
Everyone knows you, huh?
For shots of whiskey, sports talk, and eating at the bar, never at a table. Let that be known about me when you tell the story of R.L. Bennington. All I want to do is write. And then we've got sent this novel.
Look at this. This is amazing. This is by Chris Cervini, and he sent this to us. This is his new novel called Adelaide Uncolored. And it's like a sci-fi kind of YA, I think, novel, which is so cool. But flip to the back to the acknowledgements.
To Ron Bennington, Fez Marie Watley, Gail Bennington, and Chris Pepper Hicks Stanley, who's living like Tito segments were my jet fuel when things got hard. And while I'm at it, Tito Beverage, who makes a damn fine vodka and whose life story is proof that when you do what you love, happiness will follow. That's so nice.
Is that so cool?
This is awesome.
I know, it's so exciting. I think there's nothing cooler than somebody who has written a book and you're like, bam, here it is.
And look at that picture of him. He looks like a tough novelist.
He does,
He
yeah.
looks like a novelist who would also do some MMA because, you know what I mean? He's that kind of a tough guy. And he signed yours?
Yes, he did.
Oh, mine's nice because it... Oh, here it is. Oh. Ron, sorry you have to put up with Chris, but there are worse things. We should have a book club for this.
I know.
Chris, if you could turn off your TV show.
I mean, is this Trailer Park Boys related?
Why don't we do this? We read a chapter a night, and then we discuss the next day.
I would love to do that.
Perfect.
Jen, you never learned how to read, correct? Is that it, right? I saw your resume, and it was mainly pictures that you had drawn.
Just her with a microphone. Okay, so she's worked in radio, I think, before this.
You were the first time I ever saw a backwards M. I didn't even know it could be done. I did not know that. You've taken writing courses, right?
I have, yes.
I never have.
Yes.
I didn't even get reading courses before I went to school. I was just told this: you're going to be working on the line, boy. On the line. Most of the time, my instruction were try to get a thumb cut off because you can get workman's comp.
That's a good trick.
Oh,
God.
This is going to hold me out for the next 7 to 8 months. Then the worst thing they would do is tell you had to come in and help work in the office. They would have you file or something.
No, I can't do that with my thumb.
Not with this thumb like this. I could lose it.
I would like to write a YA novel, too. I've always wanted to do that.
This looks like the first in the series. Well, here's the thing. How could this help Chris and not you? You should be able to do the same thing Chris did. Where's he live? I hope upstate.
I know, somewhere
or in
nice.
New England.
Let's see where it says about the author.
Maybe he works in Austin. I just saw the word Austin when I was going through it.
I don't know where he lives.
He's a Mexophile, so it sounds like could have been Texas. Here you go. Mexophile, barbecue enthusiast. Yeah. He loves cowboy boots, never ridden a horse.
Texan.
Spent a career in politics. Oh, so he's believing in a divided future.
Mm-hmm. Can one girl unite a divided nation? I'd like to think this is about me.
Easy.
I can.
I
Come
can
on,
do it if
guys.
I believe in myself. Hey, think about it. Don't we all have to poo, right? We have that in common. And pee.
I can't wait to read this.
Chapter 9. I already have a very nice, comfortable chair I can read into. I'll put my glasses down on the end of my nose, and then I'll doze off. While my dog Birdie just sits here with my hand.
What's my dog doing at your house?
Birdie, I'll light my pipe now. And throw another dog on the fire. Another dog. Not Birdie. You ever have a dream job like that, Chris? Because I'd love to be I don't want to write a novel. I want to have written a novel. I want people to congratulate me for a novel and ask me other things I care about. Actually, I want a bunch of books. I always like people who is like,
yeah,
those, like you go past some section, you'll see like 10 books. You're like, man, I wish that was at my section, you know? What's your dream job, Chris?
Before I realized how monotonous it was, I always wanted to be like a private detective, trailing people and just finding.
You're too sloppy and noisy.
I know.
Too big. They're going to see you.
They're going to catch the trail immediately.
Large man.
Who's that chain-smoking man I see everywhere?
He wears the same blue blockers everywhere he goes.
I have no disguises. And most of it, I think, is just sitting in a car outside people's houses.
Sure, you're in a stakeout.
That sounds dull, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to find out who's cheating on who, though. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be a murder investigator. Because you would love this FBI series I'm watching now.
Mindhunters?
Yeah, Mindhunter.
All right.
Hunter.
Just one.
There's no plural, though. They're not hunting. They're not minding hunters, if that's what you're going for. What's your dream job, Gail?
Writer always has been one for me, but I think I romanticize being a shop owner a lot. Like sometimes I think about if I could just like own a little witchy shop with witchy things and books and crystals and
we got one of
candles
those in my neighborhood. No one's ever in there.
That's the part that I like about it. My brother has one in his neighborhood, and I popped in there, and the people who were running this place, I was thinking if I could have seen this when I was 12 years old, I would have just been like, I want to run away from home and I'm going to work in this shop.
Why are you going to run away? I'll move here for you.
Move for my my career.
Sure. I
At
have
this
no problem.
witch shop.
If anyone told me to move, I just moved. That's what I do every single time. I go, all right, let's go. What about for you, Jen? Dream job.
Well, when I was younger, I was like a little sports jock. So I always wanted to be like a basketball player.
Jen, you can't run. We've watched you run.
Yeah, exactly my
You
point.
it's
failed.
You say that you're a jock. I can't even imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine that you did well in your own gym class. Intramural is not even for you.
No, I was a good athlete.
Did you play against any other schools?
Yeah, we played. We played against a lot of schools.
What? And you played basketball.
Yeah, we actually went to the championships.
When you were there
in high school.
Chris, is there a basketball in our office? Because I got a fucking $100 saying she can't dribble down the hall without losing the ball.
You do not have a basketball, unfortunately.
Lucky for you, Jen. Lucky for you. I see you run like a girl.
Yeah, and how are you going to shoot with those nails?
I would take them off. I would have to remove the nails.
How are you going to shoot with those snails? Chris, Vita bringing pizza back? I heard him keep talking about
I
it.
fucking hope so. I'm starving.
Are you hungry?
I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
I never heard you do baby.
I just want to put the yummy in my tummy.
So weird. I hate when he says that.
I want my knobs.
Particularly when he says tummy filled with yummy, and I don't like that. That's
Why?
not something an adult man should say.
It's accurate. I don't think he's bringing back shit. I'm surprised he's even up there that long. He said 15 minutes an hour ago.
I know. I hope he's not yelling up there.
He's doing whatever he's doing. It's out of our control right now. They're probably fucking taking him out in that paddy wagon. I think
I'm supposed to be here. Rod said I had to sit by
Don't
Dawn.
fucking use my name, dude.
He said I had to sit by Dawn.
Oh, remember I told you about the fucking blurb that I was asked to do for Gurian's book?
Yes.
Here's what it is. It isn't a fucking blurb. It's just a page on Amazon, because this is a Kindle book. And he edited it and took out my joke.
What?
And never once did I get a thank you.
Or even a heads up, or even an acknowledgement.
I think you have to say, if you're going to edit somebody's thing that they wrote, you have to tell them.
And my joke was, and his hair is the ninth wonder of the world, which I thought would get a nice laugh.
Yeah, of course. It's true.
What the fuck is going on?
No, there was no mention that, hey, dude, I saw this, but I'm going to edit this. Nothing about that.
That's not how you handle that situation.
And he put me and Richard Lewis in it, and 3 other people were calling themselves doctors. The good thing is, I'm sure no one will say it. You know what I mean? Like, I could have said, hey, this is the best book ever written. It's better than the fucking Bible, that's for sure. And no one would have come back to me about it. You know what I mean? It's some corner of the web where no one will ever find. I could have put, oh, I've murdered 3 co-eds. Ron Bennington. It's, like, there's certain things, like, at the time you think, hey, should I say something about this? And then you go, for what? To have more of a discussion?
Yeah. It's best just to drop most things.
Most things.
Just
most things could be just agreed to and moved on.
Like, I have a friend who has to address all things, and I'm like, I'm the polar opposite of you. Like, most things happen. Like, let's say you're at a dinner party, somebody says something, and you're like, that's off, babe. I don't feel like the just thing to do is to put this person. You're just like, whatever, what a dumb thing to say, and you just move on.
Right.
There's no reason. There's no reason.
'Cause there is no reason to. Anyway, I don't like Mondays. That's all. Bam, bam, bam. There's also a crazy dog on the fucking thing that looks like it's doing magic.
What's it doing?
Oh, it's supposed to be a religious dog or something. I don't know.
I mean, that sounds like a religion I'd be interested in.
Sure.
Chicken look for the magic dog.
Oh, you did find it. That's bad. I was hoping you'd never be able to find it.
I can't find it.
He can't find it.
That proves how fucking dumb you are, because there's only 2 words that would have you find it in 1 second.
I typed in dog. It didn't show up.
It's not going to be in dog, you dumb fuck. I'm sure if you put dog, Gurion isn't going to come up. Yeah, you'd make some great detective.
Oh, yeah, it'd be awful.
I told you the man's name. I said that he's selling it on Amazon. And yet you typed in dog and then just sat here confused. Don't do it now. Now you don't get to find it.
Okay.
Because I just gave you the clues. Look where he is. He just went to Amazon alone. Not even fucking Gurion. Oh my God. There's the dog. Well, no one would ever buy that in a million years.
Who do you get to make that dog?
That dog is so cute, though. Oh my God.
It's not even a book, it's a physical book. So why do you have a cover if it's not a physical book?
Yeah.
I don't understand people. People say all the time, I wrote an online book. That's not a book.
That's a text message.
That's a blog. You wrote a blog? Congratulations.
It's a really long blog.
There are a lot of people who call their online videos TV shows still.
That's not a TV show. You have a web series, my friend.
A webisode.
A webisode that is in a series.
I'm going to put in a new thing. A book that I'm putting out called a buddy of mine edited my blurb and then never even asked me if he could.
Are you going to put that into print or that's just going to be online?
No, that'll be on a webisode. I'm doing a web series about it. And all the stuff that you and Vito told me about him, not even true.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely bringing him to Thanksgiving out of their street. Must give away a thing. Some anniversary. This is a non-anniversary party.
So did you get us any like presents and treats and like anything like that?
I have no treats and no presents.
All we want is meatloaf and wings. That's it.
That sounds great.
So good.
I'm going to open up a place called Meatloaf and Wings.
I'll be there every day.
It's kind of the surf and turf of the loafed meat and chicken parts. No one would have ever believed that out of all the parts of the chicken, the wing would take off, the tiny wing.
It's so beloved.
I want the smallest part of the chicken that you have, but give me 50 of them.
The part that's the most work to eat.
Yeah. I want to make everything seem like it's crabs, no matter what I'm having. I had a French hen not too long ago. I'm like, this is the fucking crab of the barnyard. Holy shit. I'll open up a place called Barnyard Crabs. And it's just French hens. Yeah. French hens, French fries,
French dressing, and
French toast.
French toast. Christmas.
Fucking Trump has to make a speech a day now.
This guy stays in the news, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he does.
I mean,
he keeps himself out there. Donald J. DJT. For you, DJ. They said they lost a lot of money last year. I think 600 mil. Yeah. He's down 600 mil just because he's not running the day-to-day Trump stuff. Yeah. That's according to Forbes, I guess, right?
Yeah, he dropped like 92.
Are you more of a Forbes guy or a Fortune?
I'm going to say Forbes. I'm more of a Forbes man.
You're a traditionalist.
Yeah. I like this upstart Fortune magazine.
Me, I'm all Vice. You know what I mean? Because I like to be in people's faces.
You're on the edge. Edgy, outside of the box, and in your face.
I'm on the outside of every fucking box. That's true. I even like my clothes, I put on the outside of my suitcase. No one else has ever done it before. It's my thing.
You just tape them to the outside?
Sometimes duct tape.
All right.
I wonder why we can't find Jen a boyfriend.
I don't know why.
Would anybody be perfect for her here at Sirius?
I feel like Handsome Johnny should get.
You always say
you say
that.
the same fucking thing.
Why
over
do
and
you
over.
say that? There's nothing about the two of them that seem like it would make sense.
Why can't you think a little bit? Not just fucking. He's Westworld. He's stuck in a fucking Westworld loop.
Also, I see her with a host.
I do too.
I see her with talent.
Yeah. Not some fucking guy with a cubicle. I see her with a guy with his own fucking private jet airplane.
Uh-huh.
Is Sway taken? I don't know if it is.
That's racist.
That's really
dude.
racist.
How so
And she's
close?
shaking her head. That's ridiculous.
You're fucking racist, man.
That's why you said it.
I don't think I'm a racist. I was just thinking of hosts. That's all.
Jen, I apologize for the racism.
That's really embarrassing. Sorry, Jen.
It's okay.
What about somebody from the comedy world? Anybody you like?
Who would you say is your comedian crush?
Oh gosh.
You have one?
I mean, I have one.
Everyone has one. Everyone has at least one.
It's a bit far-fetched though.
We ran into mine right down the hall.
I know. Marina Franklin.
I just saw her. She was very lovely. You know who she used to date somebody in the world of comedy too, right?
I didn't realize.
Yeah. Well, I probably shouldn't give this part away, but I'm going to. She used to date Keith Robinson, and that she said that she would tell her therapist some of the mean things that Keith had said to her, and her therapist used to laugh his ass off.
Oh, no.
Because Keith is so funny.
Yeah.
And she was telling me that, and I was trying to be on her side, but I was laughing. Just like... She found it very amusing as well, though. She said, I would tell my therapist the things he said. My therapist would say, he's brilliant. That's a strange attack. Let me see who yours probably is. Is it Kreischer? Bert Kreischer?
No.
Why not?
Not my type.
Too white?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too white for Florida.
Do you like Mike Epps?
Dude, stop with the fucking racism.
What?
Chris.
Dude.
I'm not trying to
Why
be
do you keep pushing it?
You're like a fucking down south plantationeer. Is that what they call them, plantationeers?
I think so.
I'm a plantationeer. I drive a plantation. Is it James Fallon?
No.
Is it someone attainable, someone we could get to?
Yeah.
Someone I know personally?
Yeah.
Someone we've had on the show?
Not since I've been here.
Really?
But you know that I know them.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Would you say superstar?
No.
Star?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Is
I'll
that
give
Vito?
another guess.
Yeah.
Yes, Vito.
Come in here, Vito. Did
Vito.
you already tell Vito?
Does Vito know who your crush is?
Yeah, he knows.
Your comedy crush?
I have a guess, a real guess. Is
No,
it?
You're not in
No,
this,
because
Chris.
it's
You're out.
going to be...
I don't want the racism.
There is no racism.
Vito, first of all, how'd the meeting go?
Great.
Who'd you beat up? Who did you physically attack?
I didn't beat anybody up.
Did you scream a lot?
Strangle
No,
anyone?
I was very calm. I was very collected.
Was Don there?
Don was there. We sat next to each other.
Was Don embarrassed by you?
No.
At any point?
No.
Did Don have to say what Vito really means is this?
No, that's not what... He didn't have to calm me down. He didn't have to... I sat right behind Don.
Behind?
Yeah. There's not enough seats in the room, so some people have to sit on the ledges.
It sounds like
you're
are...
second tier.
Yeah.
Well, last week I was sitting at the table, but I got there a few minutes late this time, so I had to sit on the ledge, but...
She's too busy freaking out.
Chris,
please. I'm asking you to stop. You see how angry he
You
is.
don't have to fet me. I'm not going to flip out. Me and Chris had our moment.
It's all right.
Easy, buddy. Now, we were talking about Jen's comedy crush, and she says you know who it is, right?
Yeah.
Could you give me... Now, is it someone I know?
Yes.
Is it someone that I'm fond of?
Yes.
On a personal level or professional?
Both.
Wow. So this already is sounding like attainable and achievable.
Would you say this comedian's in a great position in his life?
Oh, yes.
Male or female?
Male.
I don't even care now.
Got so much less interesting.
Known for club work or more?
More.
Would it be televised?
They are televised.
It's two of them.
No, it's wow. This man is televised.
We've already established the gender.
This man is televised.
This man is televised. This man. I'm lost on it. Is it the nerd from Big Bang Theory?
No, it's not. It's not Sheldon.
Is it young Sheldon?
Chris,
what?
You're driving him nuts right now.
It's all right. It's okay.
You're already making a joke out of this.
Do we have
thing.
our guests around? Should I break down? Because I know he doesn't have long to be with us.
Oh, yeah, we should break, yeah.
Is it a nightly show?
It's on at night.
Every night means nightly.
Not every night.
Okay. Weekly?
Weekly.
She looks nervous.
I don't want you to guess.
Then I'll stop. Then I'll stop. And Chris, I want you to go home. Check out and go home.
I can't. I want to
Tell
say.
everybody who's coming in next.
Stavros Halkias is coming in. Stavros' podcast, Come Town, is available now on iTunes and on Twitter at Stav Comedy and on Instagram at StavyBaby2. That's Stavy Baby with 2 V's.
Come Town is a gigantic success. Let's break back Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington. Stavros Halkias is in studio.
Yay!
Stabby Baby!
Hello. How we doing, gang?
Stavros' podcast, Come Town, is available now on iTunes and on Twitter at Stav Comedy and Instagram at StavyBaby2.
Who came up with the title Come Town? Because it grabs people.
Sure. It's just a passion project for all of us. You know, you write about what you know. And I got to give the credit to Nick Mullen, my co-host. He decided, let's make it as ridiculous as possible, and then if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, we'll quit in 4 episodes.
Let's make sure it's something that'll never be on TV.
Right.
Spin on. This will be the end of that. We like everything about you boys, but Come Down. Not going to work on ABC.
I just want to hear Conan say it. That's all. Yeah.
Well, he's still getting over saying skanks.
I know.
That's right.
It's like glued in a skank, I guess.
Now, I was going to ask you this because you're Robert Kelly is the guy. He's your guy from
Yes,
that's your mentor.
Bobby. I love him.
Now, he told the story that we're doing on this Hell Gigs thing about being disrespected by a certain famous comedian, kind of just like we're not on the same level type thing.
Right.
Now, we'd all know this comedian's name, and I'm going to leave it for him to say during this. But have you ever had that thing where you've met a certain comedian and been shocked by their...
not disrespected, but just kind of like sort of amused at how insane they were.
Right.
It was my first, I think it was maybe like my second ever weekend working at a comedy club. So everything's brand new to me. And I'm opening for Eddie Griffin. And the theories that were thrown about in that green room, like they were gospel, were unbelievable. It was like, apparently we're sort of overdue for the zombie apocalypse, by the way. This was in 2012. He was certain that Obamacare was actually a way to get, vaccines that were going to make us all zombies.
Right.
And that was by the Bilderberg group also. So that it's just kind of all, it's kind of like a lot of chain emails, I think he read, and then just kind of like chain emails plus tequila. That was in his rider, was tequila and champagne every single show. And also fresh Air Force Ones, which I got to respect when you're at that level. We're just like, I just want sneakers. It doesn't matter. There's no reason why, but just give them to me. Will you do it? And it's like, yep, no, we'll do it. So yeah, that was great. I learned a lot about Magic Johnson receiving AIDS in exchange for half of Los Angeles, which is, I didn't know that's how real estate deals happen, but apparently. So yeah, I mean, I've been lucky to not be disrespected,
right?
To my face.
But I do like people that are crazy off stage. That's
Love it.
To me, that's fantastic. And I think when Tracy Morgan started to do, the 30 Rock show, I think he was doing a character that they were basing on Martin, right?
Yes.
But now it could be just based on Tracy.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the time, I think that was supposed to be Martin.
It was, because the first scene is that when he's running shirtless through the city, the streets, which had just happened to Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
And eventually Tracy just sort of like, this feels right. Being insane feels good. I'm just going to let my hair down.
But he just completely went for it. Chris, anybody in the business ever disrespected you?
I don't. Oh, well, I mean, when I was walking down the street once before I was in.
Yeah, we know about that one. But anybody here that you were supposed to be talking to as a member of the media and they lacked the respect for you?
I don't remember anything offhand.
Mine was Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby wanted me to go get water and bottled water and glasses for him and his friends. And I'm like, maybe you didn't hear, Bill. You've been gone a long time. Don't do that.
Go get your fucking shine box.
But I always say that he tried to treat me like I was Theo. And this is before his trouble started. Yeah, what about for you?
I don't know if I've had anyone who would be a member of media who would have stepped in this position.
Just general disrespect.
I'm sure there has been someone, but I might be too timid in case they
learn,
come around again.
One thing that of all the people that I ever have on the show, the toughest to be with are actors because they have less to share.
I will say that the experience that I will not say who it was an actor. And it was
Daniel
just
Day-Lewis.
A little bit. Daniel Day-Lewis.
We get it.
Yeah. He was staying in character.
Shut up, tall girl.
He stayed in character. And that's always a trouble. That's trouble. Like, we know you're not Lincoln. Stop ordering us around. I would never on any set call somebody by their character name. That's too far.
It's one thing if it's Daniel Day-Lewis, but apparently like Mike Myers did it during Austin Powers, and it's like, weird. Come on, man.
Because you know what? You need a break from Austin Powers. The whole cast and crew needs a break.
Absolutely.
Right. Scene. So it's done. Yeah, baby. Okay, dude. We're not.
Oh, are you horny? No, I'm just trying to eat lunch. Thank you, Austin.
Jen, has anybody in the business ever disrespected or
other than that Wendy Williams awkward
that's
Wendy
right.
Williams. Wendy Williams would not pose for her because she was an intern.
Yep. And I wasn't an intern, I was a part-timer, and it was fine, but she was like, made a comment, oh, are you an intern? Because back in the day I would never be able to take pictures with the stars, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, good. Let's keep the world as horrible as it was when you were coming up.
Yeah.
Let's not improve it at all.
Yeah, Wendy, when you were doing it, it took an hour of standing there for the picture to take. There was a guy with a flash stand.
Also, I don't know if I'd use the word star.
Wendy? In her world, she's a star.
Sure.
At, what is it, 10 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a star.
Wendy Williams.
A lot of divorced moms would kill for Wendy Williams.
Yes, they
Sure.
love
100%.
They love to cheer along with Wendy and cry with her and laugh with her.
Absolutely. Women with cats on their crew neck sweaters would do whatever Wendy asks.
Put a bird on it. Yeah. Chris, you don't plug anymore? Come down.
Thank you. Come on.
Star Wars,
what the fuck is this? Your story's about to be me, pal. All right?
Star Wars locations in studio. Star Wars podcast. Come Town is available now on iTunes. On Twitter @Stav Comedy. Instagram @StavvyBaby.
Thank you. I just love hearing Come Town said like that with that authority.
Come Town.
Come Town. Chris, I can't believe with all the people you've met over the years, never
I'm trying to think.
got the old brush off. I mean, this is a show.
Yeah.
This is the show of business.
There was an awkward instance with Spike Lee, I believe, where they were taking a picture and I like got put into the picture, and I was making a very odd face. But that's one thing that comes to mind.
And what, did he scold you for it?
I think like he didn't want me in the picture,
right?
So then I got caught in the picture because it was just an awkward moment.
Yeah, you didn't get caught. You tried to belly up in the picture. Because I know Spike. I get it. Spike has always been one of my favorite guests. I always think that he can talk about anything. He's always on point.
Yeah, I think
he'll go politics, sports. Doesn't give a shit.
That always impressed me when someone knows more than one thing.
Yeah,
because I feel like I was smart in college, and then I was like, I'm going to do comedy, and now I'm stupid as shit. Like now it's like a political discussion comes up, and I'm like, yeah, that Romney sure is a problem. I'm just going back to the last time I knew anything.
Vito is always dumb about everything until it comes to wrestling. And then he knows everything there is to know. What is it about comics and wrestling? It's just
I don't know.
Constant.
It's I think the in the Venn diagram, the middle is a bad childhood. So it's like it's one of those things that takes
that makes sense.
No father figure. So it's like,
has anyone ever with a great childhood who grew up with some money ever thought to myself, hey, I'd like to go on the road and tell jokes to people?
Right.
Well, I guess like Jerry Seinfeld is like the one who kind of says like,
he's suburban.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's like, I had a kind of a nice upbringing.
I think there was also more like glamour to being a stand-up back then. There was only like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And it was like, you moved to Los Angeles to do stand-up. It's not like you moved to Bushwick and live with 8 people in a shared living space. A sheet is your door. Do you know what I mean?
When he went to the comedy store, they go like this. Well, can you be here at 8:00 tonight?
Right.
We'll put you on. It's Saturday, so the place should be packed. And there are 2 other comedians performing, though.
Yeah.
That's what's always funny, too, is like the people that you always hear, like Jerry, talk about are like 3 or 4 years older than him. So at the time, that's a big deal. But now you're both the same age.
100%. Yeah. You're an old guy, Jerry.
Yes. But at the time, it was like, when I would see Richard Lewis, he was far above me.
Right. Yeah, Seinfeld does look a little better. $1 billion will do that. He seems younger than all those guys.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
But he also drinks virgin baby blood. Just guzzles it down.
Stem cells.
Yeah. I think having a private plane it's going to keep you younger than going through airports.
That ages you every time you go through.
And that's the problem with flying. It's never being in the plane. It's all the other stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm an anxious flyer, so all the stuff that leads up, the longer that takes and the more stressful that is, the worse I am. Once I'm on the plane.
100%. I had one of the worst experiences. I went to Greece this summer to visit my family, and we're doing okay. I could take a little Greece trip, but that Cumtown money, baby, has me in the Louvre. And then we stopped in Paris. I went with a buddy of mine, and everything's set. I'm like, I've got everything. I've got my snacks. I'm going to take some edibles here just to pass out, take some, fall asleep right away. So everything's good to go. And I'm like, perfect, boarding in 10 minutes. I'm going to take these drugs right now. And by the way, I took double what I normally take because it's like, I want to be knocked out. And the second I swallow them and they're just completely in my body, they're like, flight delayed 8 hours, and I'm just in an airport in France, and then they're like canceled, and so now I'm stoned as hell, and I just have to figure out it's just canceled, and now I have to go wait in a line to figure out when am I going to leave tomorrow, how do I get back to the hotel, how do I get my bags. It was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Oh no.
And I saw like a little girl have like one of the there was like a customs guard like trying to lighten up the situation for everyone, and he's like joking with everyone, and he's like, just busting balls or whatever. And he points to a little girl, and by the way, I'm just stoned. I'm just, paranoid. I'm like, everyone knows I'm high. I can't deal with this. And he points to a little girl and he's like, I saw you picking your nose, and he's just trying to be cute. And the little girl she doesn't like laugh it off. She's like, no, I wasn't. Just starts crying, and you just see this girl, her first major trauma of her life. She's 4 years old. And then her dad completely he doesn't go, hey, come on, chill out. He's like, no, it's good. It's good. She has to learn this lesson to not eat the boogers. And the girl's crying. And then her psycho little sister's looking at her and smiling. She's like, I'm happy. And she's just like, can you imagine just your dad sells you out and your little sister's just happy at your misery? And I'm just,
near tripping.
Barely keeping it together. Barely keeping
I don't
it
think
together.
I would ever make that mistake to take edibles before.
I can understand some pills, some sedatives, a
Little
chance.
Xannies.
But eating
Yeah.
edibles doesn't seem
Yeah.
like a good idea for that.
No, and I've always talked to somebody who was like, I ate edibles and it got weird on me while I was on the plane. And became a long thing of me
Interesting.
feeling like I was in a tube.
I had done a lot of research preparing myself for this. Do you know what I wasn't worried about how these edibles were going to all summer I've been eating edibles just to be sure I could handle
Working
them on the
your way
plane.
up.
Yeah. Working my way up to the plane.
But edibles, are you ever sure how that's going to crawl on you? You know what I mean? Like, it's...
Science has become beautiful now, where it's
Yeah.
like there's a guy who just sells them, and they're like in these little starbursts, and it's
Yeah.
like the same dosage every time. It's like taking medicine at this point.
Yeah.
We still, a lot of diseases are still out there, but I can control getting stoned to shit. I can really enjoy an afternoon at a Chinese buffet.
You're going to know the exact spot. It's going to hit this exact spot every time.
100%.
Yeah.
Which is also, I think, a problem.
Sure.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what an addict says. It's like,
I have this done.
I have a system. Yeah.
Everyone who shoots heroin has a timing. Every single person has a philosophy that they want to share. What is it, Chris?
I just want to let everyone know that Stavros Lakias is in studio, and Stavros' podcast, Cumtown, is available now on iTunes and on Twitter at Stav Comedy, on Instagram at StavyBaby2. That's with 2 V's.
That's right.
What have you guys been talking about on Cumtown lately? What's been the big topic?
There's no topic. It's I can't believe it's a successful podcast.
Yeah.
It's like just me and my dumb friends, and we call each other gay, basically. And it's just the most juvenile thing. We talked about Mario Lopez's line of underwear recently. That came up. He had a line of underwear.
Good for Mario.
You know,
he needs to branch out.
diversifying.
The branding.
Yes.
The branding has to keep moving.
I mean, is there anything he can't do?
Yeah. Stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
Mario's kind of I'm going to say the young Harvey Weinstein. He's been known to have some stories, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess when you're a beautiful golden brown man, you think you can get away with it, but
And he has. I mean, he still is able to keep his gig. Good for him.
yeah.
Big shout out.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Despite sexual harassment.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Is that his show? I never could tell which one of those shows is which.
Yeah, they're all the same. Access
Yeah.
Hollywood. Sugar Ray was on it for a while.
Is
That's
that
a
right?
strange.
Oh,
That's a
Sugar Ray,
strange
not
career.
the singer.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a strange career move. Who did you perk up about?
Sugar Ray Leonard?
Yeah, the
Oh, yeah.
Sugar Ray.
He was an elderly man.
As soon as you went, really? I know that you thought Sugar Ray Leonard.
How?
Not that one.
Yeah, Sugar Ray Leonard talking
Yeah.
to Jennifer Lawrence. Like, what do they have? What do they have in common?
Who would you fight? Who would you box right now if you had to?
You think you could take Chris Pratt?
I actually said to Sugar Ray on the show, I go, because you're looking at him, he's just a tiny, kind of effeminate looking guy. I go, it's so weird that if we were in a car accident, I might start swinging at you because I wouldn't know. And he goes like this, that would be a mistake. I go, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
You would have hit me 50 times in a second. That would be a mistake.
Oh man, it's incredible. Imagine just knowing you have that power. You just kick anyone's ass. Just
It's
how
gotta
you
be
walk
unbelievable.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pretend I do that. I'm just gonna walk around like a karate uniform.
This is like if I did the Adam Sandler thing and I went back to school and I
Yes.
would like get
Billy
it right in
Madison.
first grade. And I'd be like, even though I just met you, I know I could whip your ass.
I was walking down the hall the other day and Jerry Cooney was here.
Yeah.
And he said hi to me and then he gave Vito like a hug,
Right.
like a hug and a pat. And Vito like flew forward and Vito's a big guy. And as we walked away, he goes, that really hurt. That hug, that gentle hug really hurt me.
And Vito, you got to be 180 pounds, right? I mean, you're not a small
Somewhere
guy.
around there.
Yeah.
You know, years ago, we had when I did the Ron and Ron show, we had the retired Joe Frazier on. And when I was a little kid, Joe Frazier, Philadelphia's own, blah, blah, blah. And Joe would have been probably 50 at the time. And my partner was like a bodybuilder and stuff. And he takes this picture with us. And then he just puts us both in headlocks and starts going, I love these guys, right? He was just rocking us back and forth. And we both just had to wait until he decided to let go. Like there was, like I moved, it felt like a bag, like you were stuck around a bag of cement was just wrapped around your neck. There was just nothing we could do.
I know.
Just go with it. Don't fight it.
No, that's what I did. I was like, this is great. You know what I mean? Like I made myself believe.
Whenever you're ready to let me go, you can.
I'm totally in control here. Yeah, it is funny though. Whenever you meet someone that's strong, so I'm a large man. To leave my feet is a fun.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like anytime anyone can get me off my feet. I feel
being
like a
in space
child.
for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm in orbit. It's a nice.
But remember how people would just throw you around when you were a little kid, and it felt amazing.
Doesn't change when you're short.
Yeah,
Doesn't change.
People try to lift you.
People try to pick me up, and I really don't like it.
Oh,
Stop
yeah.
it, because I do. I say, I don't like to be picked up. I'm actually an adult woman. I'm too short. I know it's surprising, but I am an adult woman.
When you have to tell someone the obvious.
Right. Please don't lift me is a tough thing to have to say. You know what?
Chris, should I plug in anymore?
I apologize. Star Wars Lakias is in studio.
They come down, they're plugging their guests all the time.
Star Wars' podcast, Come Town, is available now on iTunes and on Twitter at Stav Comedy and on Instagram at StavyBaby2. That's with 2 V's.
And it really is taking off. There's some people talking about calling it Cum City.
That's
right.
Wow.
We're incorporating. Yeah.
They're going to end up with a baseball team. Probably the White Sox.
The Black Sox with white stains. Yeah.
Now, do you have any women listeners, or is Come Town something that is more guy motivated?
A shocking amount of yeah. I mean, they're rare.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't really want to delve into the psychology of what led them to Come Town, probably, but we'll take them. Yeah, we have a lot of very strange male listeners. Not a lot of not a big social life. We're sort of like a friendship simulator.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a lot of people, they throw it on. They're like, just hanging out with my buds.
Yeah.
So
this is who I would hang out with if I wasn't so scary.
Yeah. If I could throw on something, throw on a cardigan, look approachable. But no, we've had some fans, Shouts out to the lady fans. DMing me pictures of their breasts. That's really nice of them.
Nice. That happens for you?
Oh, yeah.
That's very exciting.
It's very exciting to feel like a very low level, like have like groupies. Strange, I'm excited too. This is the season for me to have sex. I think the fall.
Sure.
As a larger man,
cools off a little.
Cools off. I've been sweating through all my t-shirts in the summer. I can layer up. Now's the time to be a plus size cutie. It's October.
Well, this is the first day that it feels like it, right? Like today is the first day that I notice I feel sleepy.
Yes.
During the day. And I'm going to stay that way until probably April. But I love that fucking feeling in the winter where you're just like, I can't wake up. I'm just so tired.
I'm ready to nap at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, me too.
You're a napper?
I love this in this season. I love to nap. I'm always too uncomfortable in the summer.
I agree though, man. I love a good nap.
I can't nap.
You can never nap?
If I nap, it's because I'm probably I've deprived myself of sleep and it's forced, or that I'm really sick. Like if I'm like, I can't keep my eyes open, I know I'm probably sick. But in the circumstances that it happened, I wake up and I'm totally disoriented.
Right.
Fucked up for the next 24 hours.
Right.
Because I'm just like, what day is it? Why is the light different than when I fell asleep? It really freaks me out.
That weird groggy
I never get right.
I always like the idea of finding out and you not know if it's AM or PM. I know it's 6, but which 6 is it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially now that's where the edibles come in. Oh, you take some edible naps big time. I also love a nap after just a big meal. It's
good for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Helps to digest it. Just sits right there.
Yeah. Your
good.
body doesn't have to focus on anything else.
So you carb up?
I carbo load for my naps. Yeah. Yep, kind of the way people do marathons. I do a 12 plate. Yeah, I had the other day, Saturday, I had one of those breakfasts. It's like, well, the rest of my day will be recovering from this.
Yeah.
Like just dumplings for breakfast, and then a crepe for dessert, but a crepe with ice cream in it, like 2 scoops of ice cream.
So this is your breakfast dessert?
Exactly.
Okay.
So my breakfast dessert, which is an unholy thing that shouldn't exist to begin with, is just a dessert with a breakfast wrapped around it. It's like a pancake.
It's an ice cream sandwich. What they gave you was really
a literal ice cream sandwich. Yeah. Might as well have been between like a baguette. That's the next move. And yeah, I just spent the rest of the day was shot.
That's nice, though.
It was nice.
That sounds
But
kind of good.
it is odd that no one ever offers you dessert at breakfast.
I know.
I mean, there's a donut there. They could say, "Can I get you a donut?"
Sure.
You know.
I like a
say yes.
circumstance. It's rare that you can make it happen because you have to be comfortable enough for the person. But you're going savory breakfast. They're going savory breakfast.
Oh, that's the dream.
Sweet breakfast in the middle.
Gail, that is the dream.
And it's very hard to just be like, yeah, it's kind of weird. I can't decide between sweet and
I don't
savory,
know. I'm
right?
kinda
And
thinking
then you
about
have to
these.
wait for them to be like, I'm the same way.
Wow,
Yeah.
French
I get an
toast.
idea.
Yeah. Oh
So
my
you
god.
start splitting.
Yeah, so like you each get your own savory,
Yeah.
and then you put a sweet in
Oh,
the
that's
middle.
wild.
What would be the perfect for you? What would be the perfect?
Like, let's say if you ordered eggs Benedict, or if you got
it.
something like that, and then you would put a French toast or a pancake in the middle, and then you're
What
splitting
kind of
that.
pancake we talking? Let's get into specifics here, okay?
Blueberry pancake.
Blueberry, a blueberry
Big
girl.
stack of blueberry pancake.
Okay, all right. Little
And for
cream.
dessert, a slice of blueberry pancake.
What about you, Savage?
I love what you're doing. When you said at first, I thought you were going half savory, half sweet. But you
No, full
fucking
savory.
dunked on me. You
Yeah.
were like
Yeah.
full savory
And
and
the
then a
sweet
little
goes-
extra sweet.
yeah.
I love that.
Yep.
I'm a chocolate chip pancake boy. You know,
so
I have
you
to go
sweet?
all the way. Yeah, go double sweet. You get that fruit out of my face. All right, don't even try and sneak health into a double breakfast. That's my stance.
See, my thing is, no matter what I'm doing for breakfast, I do want some egg in there. I want to feel like it's
Yeah.
breakfast. But I hate when they try to do this. If you go like, I'll have some eggs and a side of pancakes, and they'll always go, instead of the toast, and I go, what the fuck?
Yeah, how dare you?
Am I going to dunk my pancake in my egg? No.
Why are you making me say this?
Didn't
You
I
know what I
just-
want. Yeah.
I said a dippy egg.
Yeah. I mean, is there some food shortage I don't know about? I want both. But then you have to take that thing of just fucking charge me. Don't ask me a bunch of questions.
I actually had this circumstance where I tried to do the same thing. I was like, and does that come with toast? Because it was the thing that came with a side of pancakes. And she's like, this is a pancake house. And I was like, okay, could I also have toast at this pancake house? And she's like, it's gonna be extra. And I'm like, I can't be the first person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
$1.25.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I can't be the first person who wanted
Is this
toast.
your? I'm
with
sorry. Is
eggs.
this your first day at a breakfast restaurant? I want toast with eggs.
It's not an extra on an automobile. It's an extra at breakfast.
Right,
It's
right,
the
right.
cheapest meal of the day. Now, I imagine you have some bread and a toaster of some sort. Put the chicken salad on there.
Why are we all encountering these diner waitresses that don't want to upsell you?
I don't.
You know what I mean?
don't
We're the
understand
dream.
it. Yeah.
You shouldn't be talking us out of more food.
Right.
I could be talked into a short stack on top
Yes.
of French toast
And
if
by
you
the
really
way,
applied yourself.
I don't think it's obscene to have a Coke with your breakfast.
Oh, there we
food.
go. Oh, let's get freaky.
Yeah.
Fries. Throw me fucking fries.
I would
all
go
right?
fries over home fries any day.
I want a hash brown.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a hash brown, give
Yeah.
me fucking fries. I want crisp. I don't want those weird, fucked up, like.
I know.
Because if they don't do home
Soapy.
fries right, it's
Yeah.
just mush.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just fucking garbage.
It's a really good point.
I've really come alive here with this breakfast talk, guys. Thank you so much. Finally, we got into something I have some expertise on.
Star Wars Lakias is in studio. Star Wars podcast Come Town is available now on iTunes, on Twitter at Stav Comedy, Instagram at StabbyBaby2. That's StabbyBaby with 2 V's.
Now, Chris, you're a brunch guy because you miss the beginning of football every week.
Yeah, no, 'cause
you
I'm
miss our
brunching.
group text, and we're always doing brunch jokes about you.
That's wild.
What is your brunch?
I love a chicken and waffle. That's
Okay.
fucking
That's
Yeah,
delicious.
that's
Respectable.
great.
Like,
Yeah,
it's so
I'm into
good.
it.
Do you
And
get an
it's-
egg with it though?
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get an egg on a side? Or?
Sometimes scrambled eggs on the side, or sometimes just crack an egg over it, like a runny egg on top of all of it. So it's all
Interesting.
egged up
Yeah.
with the waffle and the fried chicken.
That's called a mother and child reunion when you get chicken and egg.
Yeah, that's just cruel. Yeah.
It's delicious though.
Now,
Yeah, 100%.
so that's your main.
If it's on a menu, I can't help but not order it.
yeah,
And then I think one week I had shrimp and grits for brunch.
interesting.
You're
do
going
like
very
the shrimp.
southern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very southern
You
with your
are.
brunch.
Yeah, everything
choices.
is southern for
It's
for
delicious.
Do you like a
Queens, born and
biscuit?
raised. I like a good
Oh
biscuit.
my God! Throw a
Yeah.
biscuit on there.
Yeah, do you get biscuits with it?
If they have biscuits.
What do you mean
yeah,
if they have? They got
Do you
chicken and
get it
waffles.
or
They're gonna have
not?
biscuits.
Yeah. Just bullying him.
Fuck around with us.
Answer us, you fucking motherfucker.
What's the story? What are you hiding? Now, do you get drinks? Do you get?
I get like cocktails. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. What's your cocktail?
I like a Bellini.
Oh, okay.
So cute.
Okay.
So
I'm
that
with
is
you,
a-
buddy.
Shocked me.
That's
But
a
I'm
pear.
with you.
What is it? Pear puree and
It's a pear and I guess prosecco.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
But if I'm like at a Mexican place, then I'm going straight frozen margarita.
Ooh, okay, with brunch.
So what's your breakfast or your brunch at a Mexican place?
I'll get maybe a fish taco if they have that.
So
a
you
fried
go
fish
lunch.
taco.
Yeah, that's not even breakfasty what you're talking about.
Because I'm not a big fan of like huevos rancheros.
Oh, I am.
Come
How can you
on,
say
I'm
that?
not a big
Chris.
fan of it.
To me, that's
This is wild.
By the way, a Mexican brunch to me
Yeah.
is best case scenario.
I agree. Top
Yeah,
it off
it's
with a little
like if you're
fried
doing
brunch. Hey.
huevos rancheros, if you're doing a breakfast burrito.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I like a
Breakfast
breakfast
burrito.
burrito.
Throw some tots in there. You ever get tots with a breakfast burrito with some Mexican stuff? Come on.
Yeah.
Some
And then top it all off, a little fried ice cream. Huh? Come
Edible
on, guys.
before? Do you want an edible before?
The night before.
Yeah.
These edibles, again, with my system, I've learned I stay a little high up until noon the next day. So
Sweet.
the ideal situation is get out of your mind high, see a movie, hit brunch the day before, the next day.
Now, Chris, you only know the New York brunch, but when you are down south, brunch means like buffet. It means go up.
Yeah.
It never is a brunch menu. They're just like, what do you want to drink? There's the food. And there's always there's an omelet station. There's the bacon and sausage, all that. And then there's always like the waffle thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's really
And then there's usually a meat man who's
Yeah.
by this
Yes.
red light,
roast beef.
this
Yes.
bright red
Yes.
meat under a
You're
lamp.
right. There's a red light to keep it warm.
Absolutely.
And he's just bathed in an
Yeah.
eerie, hellish light.
Absolutely.
And he will give you your meats.
And he's the same temperature as that meat, by the way. He is, yeah.
Well, you got to think the best cooks are not in a restaurant are not working 11 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I mean, this is open mic night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't until I really understood at a brunch in that kind of scenario, buffet brunch, that the scramble is always like a wet scramble.
It is a wet
It's not a
scramble.
dry scramble.
Mhm.
And I remember saying to my mom, "This is what I want to see in the kitchen." And
You
she's
taking notes,
and
babe?
she was like, "I don't like that. That's gross. I don't like a wet." And I was like, "I do."
I'm
From
with
now
you.
on,
I agree.
get it
I like
nice
a
and
nice
wet.
wet.
Like
Guys, we gotta get brunch together.
Yeah,
we're
we got
we're on
I know.
we're on the same page.
But you know
Chris, you
what?
can go ahead and fuck off with
Oh,
your
well, then I'm not fucking
with
shit.
your
Sweet
fish
limit-
tacos and shit. Yeah,
sweet breakfast in the middle, guy.
A couple sweets.
I do
We'll do two
consider
between the three of
I
us.
do consider myself like a good breakfast maker, and I can't make a good wet fucking scramble.
I think
It's
you
hard
got
thing
it
to
in
pull
you.
off.
I think you got it in you, Ron.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I haven't had a lot of people behind me over the years, you know. My dad was busy. I mean, he was working 2 jobs.
I'm just massaging your shoulders. You can do it, Ron. This is the day. This is the day we get them wet. The other pro move at one of those buffets is you can always seek out a custom ordered egg.
Yes.
And that you don't want. See, I don't want that vat.
I agree.
I don't want that vat scramble.
Yeah.
I want to go up to him. I want to be like, give me an over medium. Throw a couple slices of cheese on that bad boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
And then I'll take
They'll
care
take
of it.
yeah.
Because there's always an omelet guy there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Who
yeah.
fancifully cooks his omelet. Look, I'm flipping everybody.
Yes.
And I
Diced ham.
Yeah.
do me everything and keep those cubes, those thick cubes of the ham. I don't know when they were cooked. I have no idea. They're like little rubbery things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
These have been cooked 8 times over, and I don't even care. Just put
But
it
I
in my
guess the
body.
markup on a breakfast is, I mean, this is where a restaurant can really make some money for themselves. And I have a diner like so close to my house that I'm like, you're this close to being a great fucking diner. Please
Yeah.
let me come in here. Just push you over the top because everything's good, but nothing's fantastic.
Nothing's great.
Right.
And because of that, they don't have a fucking line at the door. I
Yep.
could make a mint with this place.
I have a diner that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Definitely not like I need to bring anyone there, but
Right.
it's like passable enough for a neighborhood diner. But the only thing is, I really don't like the like fake maple syrup, like fake.
Ugh.
So I actually have to bring my own maple syrup.
Oh my.
Then I hide it in my purse.
I'm in love. I'm gonna propose to you right now. Your own maple syrup. Wow, I didn't know that's what I wanted in a woman, but I know now. Bringing your own, that is respect.
It's maple syrup in my bag swag.
That'll be in your vows. I knew when I saw that little maple syrup. Savvy, I know you got to go. You got a big day today, man. But it's so great to have you stop by.
Thank you so much. I'd love anytime, guys. I'd love to come by. Thank you so much for having me.
We can start and do this 4 or 5 days a week.
I love it. Yeah.
It's just like, that's that breakfast show.
Breakfast talk. Yeah, let's start it.
Stavros Okias has been in the studio. Stavros' podcast, Come Town, is available now on iTunes, on Twitter, @StavComedy, on Instagram, @StavyBaby2.
All right, we'll be right back. It's Bennington.
Welcome back to Bennington.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris.
The Judah Friedlander Unmasked. That's happening Monday, October 23rd at 8 p.m. at the Stand in New York City. Go to the ibang.com for a chance at free tickets. Judah's new special, Judah Friedlander, America is the Greatest Country in the United States. That comes out Tuesday, October 31st on Netflix.
People are asking how they follow Stavros, who was just in here. He's truly just one of the greatest and funniest young comics. @Stav Comedy. And on Instagram, it's @StavyBaby2. He's hilarious on there.
Definitely follow him.
@Stav Comedy, STAV Comedy. He is, what's it called when somebody takes you under their wing? You're like their
men
protege?
They're your protege. Yeah. I consider him Bobby Kelly's protege.
Yeah.
Bobby just loves that kid. It's the first time anyone brought up Stavros to me. And then I became a fan of his hilarious Instagram.
I adore him. I know his Instagram is really, really funny.
When you know how they do all these story nights and something nights and comedy, alt is now part of mainstream. Stavros always says, "I just want to do jokes. I don't understand. Just let me come in. Let me just do my set. That's what I want to do." I thought that was like so refreshing, because the whole reason I did this was to tell good jokes. And now I got to go up and find out if somebody, now I got to fucking put on a blindfold and let people shoot darts at me. @Stav Comedy for you first responders, @Stav Comedy. Vito, anything else to tell us about the big meeting that you're in today? Because I've gotten a text from Don.
Oh, what did he say?
Don't worry about that. This is above your pay grade. Is there anything that you want to tell me, like yesterday? When you finally got around to telling the truth yesterday.
I'm not lying about anything in that meeting.
Yesterday you were lying, though, right?
I lied in the meeting yesterday.
And I kept asking him the same question until the truth came in. It was you know how I really want to be a prosecutor.
Yeah.
More than
I
anything.
saw you work your magic.
And not in a courtroom. I just want to prosecute, no matter what I'm doing. What I want to be is one of those Russians that come into someone's house.
You want to be a persecutor.
Yeah, thank you. I want to come in and just bring fear. Just bring fear with me. So you're back to telling the truth now, though.
100% of the truth, 100% of the time.
100%. That's a lot. That's a lot of percentages.
Probably too much for telling the truth.
All right, 99% of the time.
Yeah. 1%. I mean, tell me I look good. You can do that. Give me a nice lie. 3 years today, Gail. 3 years since we did the Bennington show. First, it's just a kind of a weekly fill-in show, and then like when I first asked Gail to do this, like the initial thing was like, "What? Are you sure?" I don't know how to work. But by the time he were like, "Why is Opie working this Friday? Didn't he just work the Friday before?" I'm like, "Oh, you're getting the bug a little bit."
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very quick to get it.
Yeah, when we first did it was like having a podcast because it was just
Yeah. Exactly. And then it's funny you say I did get the bug right away. I wanted to be like, so when are we doing this again, or what's going to happen?
You would get a little mad if Ope was doing his own show on a Friday when we were filling in. But from I believe day one, me, you, and Chris picked up the odd thing of meeting out front.
That was from the very first
show. Yeah.
Now, why was that? Because you never did that before.
I don't know. I think it was
you never
just
came
like
out to meet me before.
Honestly, I think it was a
No.
coincidence because I can remember it like it was yesterday. We're standing out on the 49th Street side, not the 48th Street side, because that's how we used to come in. And you and I were meeting out front, and we were, we had just got there. And then you said something like, "Oh, look at this sweetheart over here," or something like that. And you looked, and Chris was like, kind of coming
Lumbering
up,
in, yeah.
And you were like, "You didn't have to come in for this." And he was like, "Well, I want to be here."
Oh, yeah,
because we had his staff.
Yeah.
We had his staff here.
We had Opie's staff.
Opie's staff, who was
So we had E-Rock and who else?
Adrian. Yeah.
Adrian.
And now he left, right?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not here anymore.
I never thought he'd make it in radio. What's he doing now?
I think he's writing about
He's a nature guy. He's in like Wyoming and stuff, writing about the outdoors.
That's the worst fucking thing a person could do in his life, nature. I saw some leaves, and there was pine cones next to it.
Oh, this
All
is-
right, so join me for my next column.
This is a great blog.
Well, good luck to him. But so you used to come and just stand up front with us then.
Yeah. Yes,
and then that turned into a daily thing that we still do.
Ritualistic.
Yeah, where poor Don had to go out in the cold
Yeah.
and meet with us today.
Because we're like, we don't come in until the last possible second, Don.
Don't you get it? And last week,
how
Vito
we
asked
do.
if wanted to talk to us, so he asked if Chris could fucking tap out with him.
Yeah.
Did you like it out there?
Yeah, it was nice. We had a nice day last week. It was not too hot out, not too
There's
cold.
no way for me to remember because I do it every day.
remember. I'll tell you
know what
all
I mean?
about it.
I mean, just like Chris isn't going to remember weather, okay? Because he's a daily doing a dude, okay? You're like a comet, like a fucking. If I call it, would be Vito's comet, comes every 69 years. All right, well, congratulations for
Congratulations
3
to you.
years, my friend.
Yeah.
It's been really, really fun. Chris, congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you.
You got that lunch thing in there today, that brunch thing. You finally got to talk about it.
Thank you. I really wanted to get that on the air.
It looks like Stavros and Gail are going to get married.
I know.
nice.
It
For
was
their
like,
savory and sweet.
I was
And
really excited.
by the time
just
you said
covered in maple syrup.
he was so excited
I
to hear
know.
about maple syrup.
He really was.
He was going to stab himself in the neck.
He was lit up.
First responders to check him out. It's at Stav Comedy, Stav Comedy. And like I said, he is a doll. He's so funny, but he's like one of the good guys too. I
Yeah.
really like him. All right, that's it for us, everybody. And we'll see you all again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!